Hello, everybody. Welcome back to MIRRORMOURN. I believe we are live. We are indeed live. Okay. We are playing at a different time. Some rescheduling due to the upcoming Easter holiday. So glad to be here. I'm quite tired, so I'm probably going to screw something up or forget something that's terribly important. Hopefully it works in the favor of our heroes, and if it doesn't, I hope their tragic death is at least memorable. So why don't you all introduce your characters, and we'll get to playing.
Sure thing. I'm Warsor, and I play Walykos, the level 6 half-elf ranger.
I am Vince, and I'm playing Vapor, the wild magic sorcerer.
I am Nick. I am playing Adriel Mantavel, the swashbuckling level 6 rogue.
I'm Adam, and I'm playing Aygir, the armorer artificer, who, like everyone else, is level 6.
The plot is certainly thickening in MIRRORMOURN. There's a great tense situation that is building, already beginning to bubble over at some points. Well, it's a mix of social and political turmoil. And as you all are aware, there is a underplot that is being orchestrated by a giant overlord, a dark magician magus of some variety, who has been plotting revenge against the elves ever since they came and vanquished the giants who once ruled this land. There's a lot going on, so we might just jump in. The last thing that we saw was Adriel received a message by way of a bird there at the Rook Tower, literally up in the rookery where you and Walykos have your personal quarters, and it was an invitation from a noble, you might say a lesser noble, of the Strong Castle district. And this was one Lord Honeybeak, Clance Honeybeak. And he said to you, "Congratulations on your knighting. Young master, you've been honored greatly by the Duke and the Duchess." And he has invited you cordially to a dinner in 3 days' time to give you his congratulations in person, to show you his gratitude for the great deeds you have done, and to also introduce you to his fine, winsome dame of a daughter, Aniva. You detected there was a secret meaning with this letter, as there was some thieves' cant markings on it that directed you to look at certain letters of the second and third lines of the document, which those letters spelled out Vonder, Baal Vonder, the aforementioned dark giant lord who is plotting some kind of revenge or take back of the island of Haven's Isle, aka Eaberg. Walykos is there nearby. Walykos, you seem to have some curiosity as to what is this message that we received.
Yeah. I mean, look at these people, Adriel. They're already trying to get you married. You only made a knight, like 2-3 days? It's barely been any time at all.
Yes, it is it's a little bit strange.
Are you even going to merit this with a response?
Well, my thoughts are, I don't think I'm in time. I don't really want to get married at the moment. Perhaps in the future, but I don't think that it would be bad to at least meet with them, talk with them. The more allies we have in this treacherous time would be useful.
But Adriel, we have so many other things that we have to do. We're in the middle of trying to track down possibly one of the greatest threats to our kingdom that we've ever faced. And I mean, these are minor nobles, like Clans Honeybeak. I think I've heard of the Honeybeaks. They're not even like a major noble house of Strong Castle.
Yes, of course. It is in 3 days though, so I will still have time to help with finding these things. And
Let's
it's only
see.
dinner. It's only dinner. Maybe 2 hours, 3 hours at most. They could help us, perhaps. I scratch their back, they scratch mine. We could get some resources, money. There's things to be gained from this. And if there's nothing to be gained, I only lose time.
Seems very uncharacteristic for Adriel to be interested in social thing like this. Usually he's more interested in like
Yeah.
robbing people.
It is
hurting
a bit
people.
it is a bit uncharacteristic because, like, to be fair, like in
Yeah.
previous social situations, he's like not wanted to be there. So it is a little strange. Yeah.
I can't remember. Did we do any sort of check of insight last time?
I don't think I've lied at the moment yet, though.
You did not make that check now.
Okay, we'll save that for till
For
it
sure,
seems
for sure.
appropriate.
I'm trying. As I'm speaking, obviously, if I slip up, fair enough. But I'm trying to speak in the sense like, basically wanting to just meet them and like see what they could maybe help us with, see what I could help them with, get something going.
Well, let's see where we are in 3 days. I would say, honestly, we have to deal with this Bale Bonder situation. If those barrels full of crackle powder are combined with whatever that residue magic was, it could potentially
Could be catastrophic.
it could collapse the castle. It could do all kinds of damage.
No, I completely agree with you. We need to find these barrels first. That's our first priority. I will write back, and tell them that I am interested to meet their daughter, to have dinner with them. But things may come up. Things may show up where I'm not able to make it.
Yeah.
But
Plus, I mean, honestly, you can do so much better, Adriel. That, like, a minor noble, I get that maybe you get lonely or whatever and you need a date or something, but getting involved with a minor noble, it's just more hassle than it's worth.
quick question, Esper. Have I ever met Aniva before?
You have met the Honeybeaks before. They are residents in Strong Castle, the massive district that is converted out of the old giant castle. They live in the upper echelon of Strong Castle, which is pretty high society. They're just basically at the doorstep of the doorstep of royalty.
And so would her daughter be around?
The daughter, you haven't had any like true interactions with her. You've seen her and some of the other family members before. Quite beautiful, like honey blonde haired young lady. There's a few family members that you've met before. Clance, his wife, his parents. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was just curious if okay. I would say I'll kind of like chuckle at what Walykos says, like, well, I don't really mind being lonely perchance. Women, not that I don't, appreciate a fine woman, but obviously I'm more interested in furthering, our stance in the city. But I do think that we could gain at least something. Yes, they're a minor house. I agree. Perhaps it's nothing. Perhaps they can't help us with anything. But an ally is an ally, Walykos, and that's something that we could use. That's
a fair point. I mean, sometimes you have to build a lot of small stones before you can, really get to the bigger things.
Barnacle wasn't built in a day.
I mean,
I don't
the
know.
elves. I mean, we didn't build it, so I think we don't know, do we? Maybe it was built in a day.
Yeah, the giants did have much magic, much power. They could have perhaps built it in a day.
It wasn't conquered in a day, maybe, but that's an entirely different story.
Well, I'm going to send send a raven back to them. Let them know that I am
Yeah, it's
interested.
fine.
But
It's kind of weird.
of course-
What time is it right now? Like
Yeah,
they
that's a
sent
good
this rather late.
Yeah, is it late?
The
right now?
bird's been here for a while. Yeah,
Oh, okay,
it's,
never
yeah,
mind then.
it's dark now. But when you got home, Ginteljar was saying that the bird's been fluttering and chirping up there for quite some time.
That's
Yeah,
right. That's right.
I'll start getting a some paper out, and I'll sort of write down. Yeah, I'm not going to do Thieves' Cant with Walykos here, unfortunately, but I will write down. because if I try and do that, then if Walykos catch, it's going to be really bad. So I will just write down saying, I am interested in meeting with you for dinner. I have seen your daughter around before. She is quite stunning, and I'm sure it will be lovely to have, just to meet for the first time officially. Thank you, and I will try my best. However,
Stunning. Just what every parent wants to hear about their daughter. No.
yeah. But I'll say, however, as you know, I am quite busy. Things may come up, but I will try my best to attend. And I'm assuming they gave me, I guess they didn't give me a time, but I assume like normal dinner time. So I'll say, I'll try my best to attend at the end. But if something comes up, I will inform them that I will not be able to make it, and we can reschedule.
You write a message in response, giving them a yes,
Confirmation.
though, yeah, well, like you said, you kind of put the caveats in there.
Exactly, yeah.
We might be busy saving all of Barnacle and this whole realm, perhaps.
I might
kind
not
of a
say
big
that.
deal.
I might not say that specifically, but
Yeah.
like I'll indicate like, hey,
Sure.
like I have other things that I am required to do for the city and such, right? But yeah, I'll say I'll try my best to go. I'll
Okay.
put it in an envelope, put my stamp. I assume I have like a crest stamp, and then I will. I guess I'll send it out in the morning. I won't send it tonight.
Excellent. No, to send it by bird, no envelope is needed. You'll just seal it with the stamp,
okay.
like you said, affix it to the bird's foot, that same bird, and just send it back to their residence.
I'll send it in the morning. I doubt that they want to have like a bird showing up at night. So
Certainly. So, you all had done a bit of investigating in the eastern district of Barnacle, called Shackle Downs. You went just past the wharf, like the seedy lower end of the wharf, into the Shackle Downs, which is a very poor neighborhood. Really, most of it's just a slum. And you were searching for a storehouse that you have gotten some clue or hint that it's connected with this production of volatile alchemical substances and thralls of Belvonder. You got this name Zelex, that Walykos. That name ring a bell to you. He's some sort of captain or lieutenant or commander that is under the authority of Belvonder. So it seems like he's in Barnacle. The corpse of Markinox Zivi said that, which that was a pretty crafty interrogation scene, I might add.
We tried our best. So Belvonder's Lieutenant Zelix, and he also had 3 possible compatriots. I didn't write their names down for some reason, which really bugs me.
So Zelix was Belvonder's lieutenant. And yeah, who were the other 2? We had the pseudonyms.
One
right?
was a dwarf. Yeah,
Wormbait.
Wormbait. That's who I was thinking of.
Wormbait.
And Wormbait and I have it here as well, but I guess I noted it on a different page.
Is Wormbait one word or 2 words, Esper?
Go ahead and put it as 1. Wow, I thought I made this note under the interrogation scene notes. That would have been the ideal place.
It's driving me
the
crazy
intuitive
because this
place.
is exactly the same. Like, I would have taken these notes, and I thought I did, but I didn't apparently.
We definitely need to get like a big list of those, like we've been talking, like you guys were talking about.
Yes, I will do that. You gathered information that Wormbait is aboard a ship that he works upon called Sutter Cloud that is on its way to Thanalis. It's a western coastal town by the Steam Curtain. But there was another cohort of Zelex.
Well, there were two more cohorts.
There might have been two, yeah.
Wrote it down.
You know what? I might have put it on a different document. Oh, I did put it on a different document. Jib and Klein.
That's what it was. I knew it was something just simple like Jib.
There we go.
And who was the other one? Klein?
Klein, yeah.
So connections to Belvondor were Zelex was Belvondor's lieutenant. and
Something like that, yeah. Some kind of commander, high ranking.
That was the one that we interrogated, right?
No, you interrogated the corpse of Markanox Zivi, and he had been aiding this Zelex, who it seems like Zelex is hiding out in Barnacle somewhere, or at least was in Barnacle recently.
That's right. Okay.
He was the person who Oxivi met with, and then he threatened Oxivi's family through a whispering wind or some sort of message.
Yes,
Yep.
I remember this now. Yes.
And so he convinced Oxivi to take his own life. Which, I mean, plays into Belvondor's plan of creating a bunch of unrest in the city, since he was in captivity at the time.
Yep. So we're basically trying to find Jib and Klein and potentially
Those are
Wormbait if he gets back. Yeah.
Yeah, Wormbait's not going to be back for a bit, most likely, but they're the small potatoes. They might point us to Zelex, but Zelex is the person who we need to
Well,
find.
yeah. Zelex is who we're trying to find, but he's going to be harder to find unless we find Jib and Klein first.
Yep.
Okay.
What you know is that someone was producing quantities of an alchemical substance called Crackle Powder, and you all had unknowingly aided them when they initially smuggled in their wares and their equipment at the coastal cave.
I'll be honest.
What if we met with Lami? Because
He's gone. It's not feasible. He's no longer in the city. Yeah.
True.
He's out in the
The crossroad, the lattice area.
in the Fort Grass.
Yeah, that's pretty far away too, isn't it? Like multiple days.
Definitely would be multiple days. So
we've been almost
the
before, but
the concern is that this Crackle Powder was secretly transported to Barnacle, and now it in and of itself is not extremely dangerous. It's no worse than Alchemist's Fire, which is kind of dangerous, right?
But it could become very bad.
Conna Spindle detected that they had actually experimented with mixing it with a different alchemical item called Brine Star, and those together make an extremely volatile explosion.
The thing that I am concerned about out of character, like this is just me thinking, is that it almost seems like I get this message to meet with someone who knows Belvondor 3 days from now. We haven't found the stuff yet. Seems like that's about the time frame.
Might be, but I mean, he'd probably want your help with whatever the plan is.
No, of course.
So that could mean that they aren't planning to move just yet.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna look to Walykos because it's still nighttime, or did we move ahead? I'm not sure where we're at.
It's currently nighttime, and everyone was going to rest. You and Walykos at the Rook Tower, and Aygir and Vapor at your sanctum.
How's
or at your apartment in Klingstead?
Yeah, Vapor's away from me right now. How is he feeling? Yeah, that's a good question.
I think
Vapor,
given the nature of this. Well, yeah, Vapor.
You're muted.
He is not doing well. He is fidgeting. It looks like he's going through withdrawal symptoms.
Probably just pacing back and forth. Unable to get rest, just feeling very, very nervous.
I was about to ask that. Yeah, like, is he gonna be exhausted the next day? Like, I'm
possibly.
Curious.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah.
I have plans to get him to go to sleep.
Okay.
You just cast sleep on yourself and fail to save.
Well, I'll look to Walykos.
Worst comes to worst, non-lethal damage of hitting the head on the wall until passing out.
That is a terrible way to make yourself go to sleep.
I'll look to Walykos before we start getting to sleep, and I'll say, well, I think I think the best thing to do is meet up with Vapor and Aygir tomorrow morning, early as possible, and then I guess
Resume the search.
Resume the search. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't see any other plans unless the Sutter Cloud returns.
No, it's on a voyage that's going to take it potentially like a week or more.
Of course. Well, if you don't mind, I think I'm going to get some rest. I'd rather be awake in the next morning.
Yeah, do what you want. I'm going to
try
sleep
and
too.
wake up early. Yeah.
I mean,
So everyone's settling down, and there's, I think, an idea that you're going to continue your efforts of trying to search out where the storehouse is, where the alchemical compounds are being stored or manufactured or transported or whatever the connection is. And maybe Walykos will again utilize that agong, that they have a pretty good sense of smell.
yeah, no, it's the plan.
Yeah. So does anyone have anything of import that they want to do this night? Or do we want to just go back to your continued searching the next day?
Not particularly for Aygir. That was what the whole thing with Connor Spindle last time was. And to answer your earlier question, I think he is actually probably staying at the Sanctum tonight, just given the nature of the situation.
Yeah, I was debating potentially like sneaking, wake up, and then like writing a thieves' cant on the note, but I'd rather not chance it because like it's like Walykos is already suspicious, and like so I'm just gonna sleep.
Quiet suspicion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's well, we'll just leave it at that. We'll see how it goes.
Very well. So if no one has anything of particular importance that they would do this evening, I will have Vapor roll a... I think it's probably going to be Constitution check.
Don't you come to my house, Vapor.
Troll 20.
All right. So you're restless, you're anxious, you're nervous. You feel this like impending sense of dread since Adriel left your immediate presence, and it keeps you up. And you're just trying to get rest. Aygir is already long since fallen asleep, so you eventually do fall asleep, a kind of tossing, turning, restless sleep. But you maintain, and you power through, despite being maybe a bit groggy or extra testy the next day. But no levels of exhaustion there. So it sounds like your party is going to meet back up, and you're going to head back to the Shackle Downs and continue on your hunt for this secret location beneath a storehouse. Okay.
Yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool to just skip to that part unless people wanted to do anything in particular.
All right. Sounds
I'm
like
good.
sounds like we're going for that. Okay.
Yep.
Bear with me one moment. I'm going to read through a note and do a roll.
Sure.
I'm actually in this castle, by the way. This cathedral behind me. So
What the corpse of Markanox Zivi told you specifically is that he would meet with Zelex beneath a storehouse just south of Havensport in the Shackle Downs.
meet with Zelex today.
Wait. Hang on. That sounds like more information than we knew.
Yeah, I didn't know.
No,
that
the
we knew
corpse
that
of Markanox Zivi. He said that he would meet with Zelex at some kind of hideout beneath a storehouse in the Shackle Downs, just south of Havensport.
Okay, I think that you told us something similar to that, but you never said the warehouse bit or storehouse, because we were not looking for a storehouse last time.
Yeah, that
to my knowledge.
Did I not? Okay.
I would assume.
But that's okay. I appreciate it now, and I'm happy to take the information. Thank you.
I assume that we would.
I
know
refer
about
back to my
storehouse-
earlier disclaimer about being tired.
I assume that we know about storehouses in Barnacle that we could just start searching, or not searching, but like going next to see if the
Let's make a check of some sort to see if we do know that, because we might not know that. Or if we don't want to make a check, we could just tell Esper how we plan to go about this.
That's fair.
Esper, what
But
sort
we-
of check would it be if we
we-
were trying to know about that?
Could we not just ask guards though, like to figure it out if we don't know?
Well, yeah, that's another option.
Okay.
But is there like a history or a knowledge check of something that would apply, Esper?
Maybe.
Or is it just
intelligence?
we know this because we're smart? Or street
You can
wise?
certainly make a history check to represent what your characters already might know.
Cool. Maybe we were looking at storehouses for our gang at one point, or
Does it would it matter that let me look this up actually. I don't usually have to look this up, but I am a criminal from my background. I don't know if that
Okay.
would help at all. Let me read the background. Well, it says I have a criminal contact, but I didn't mention that before, so I'm not going to use that right now.
How dare you?
I know. I don't. Yeah, I don't know. It was just an idea, like if that would help at all. But I'll just do a history check for now.
It's all good. Yeah, if there's any tracking involved, that can certainly help there. But
Okay. Yeah, we might get into doing that. Let's first do this knowledge check. It sounds
I
like
got a
it
2.
sounds like Adriel's like I've never spent much time in Scum Town.
that's kind of my thought too. I rolled and I didn't get very high.
Okay.
Vapor and Aygir, the ones who don't live here, are gonna be like, I know where it is.
I
Well,
mean,
I'll leave
that
it up
might
to
make more sense.
I'll leave it up to Vapor and Aygir. If you can give a justifiable reason why your character might know, you can roll the check.
Aygir has been staying for presumably at least a couple of months now in an apartment in Klingstead. So that's a poorer area of town, which is not terribly far from here. He has been a friend to bugbears and has helped them, maybe not necessarily smuggle, but get things through the tariffs. So, maybe he's been over here. Maybe he's helped some bugbears around here. That would be the only reason I can think of.
I don't think Vapor's been there because I don't think my 10's gonna do it.
Give it a roll, Aygir.
Sorry, I missed it the first time. This is a what check?
It's a history
History.
check. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's a
Your
good one.
bread and butter.
This is a pretty loose and generous usage of history, but whatever.
Yeah, it just wasn't a good skill that really fit street.
Yeah, there isn't like a streetwise or knowledge, local or urban knowledge type thing in 5th edition for whatever reason.
Aygir, I like to think, has focused in on the wrong place and is on the wrong line of thinking because
Rolled
he
in
rolled
that
an
one.
8. No, he rolled a 4, but it's only an
Okay.
8.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Adriel will speak up and say, if none of us know, perhaps we should speak to some of the gods. They could probably point us in the right direction. They know the place better than us. So they've been
Sources
doing more
Flay has a squad who he said is going out in plain clothes, and they
Yeah,
are
looks
also
like-
searching for a location that has
A storehouse.
yes, smuggled items, alchemical production. Yeah.
Honestly, we should just we should talk to sources this morning before we go anywhere. Maybe they already found it, or they could at least tell us where they've already checked, and
Yeah,
we can
let's,
ignore that area.
Yeah, let's check with sources, see what he's discovered.
Okay.
And if we can go where he has.
So your first destination is Strong Castle, specifically to the guard fort.
Yeah.
You get there and you spend a little bit of time waiting, and then Sources himself comes out to greet you. Hello, 4 of you. Do you have any news?
Unfortunately, we spent actually, I do have a little news, but we spent yesterday mostly searching fruitlessly for that storehouse that we were told about.
Yeah, well, I can only report much the same. We are gearing up to make another foray into the Shackled Downs.
Have you
Unfortunately, some of the people there were able to glean that I am who I am, and they even identified one of my men. So we are
go
trying
back.
to adjust our tactics to prevent that.
Hmm.
Which places have you searched already? Because we don't want to be covering the same ground as you.
We searched throughout Shackle Downs. We covered a good amount of ground yesterday. The northern end of Shackle Downs, even a bit into southern Havensport. He gives you the name of a couple different streets, and there's some overlap with where you were yesterday, but not all.
Have you considered using ogongs to try to sniff out the crackle powder or any other unusual things that might, be identifiable as a very unique scent?
Yes, indeed. We're getting one prepared. I'm hoping that it will be able to go out with our team today, though I'm about ready to check in with the trainer now. This is not a type of scent that the Agong is particularly inclined to sniff out, though I think it will be worth trying to do so.
Yeah, we can provide the sample, the residue, if you need that for the Agong. We were going to try something similar.
We have a sampling of crackle powder, though I am not personally well versed in this type of substance, and if there is some derivation or variant in the scent between our two specimens.
May I also, two things come to mind. One, continue with the Agong plan. That's a good plan. Wormbait. Do you recall the other three, Wormbait, Jib, and Klein, that were mentioned by the corpse?
I noted the names down, though we have no leads on that front.
I found the lead the other day, yesterday. Wormbait, we believe, is the alias of a dwarf who works on the Sutter Cloud. It's a ship that's currently out to sea, headed towards the Cloud Steps, I think it was.
Sutter Cloud. I'm not familiar with that ship, but go on.
I just wanted to provide that information. I don't believe that it's currently in port. I believe that won't be back for perhaps a week or two. And
if they're going out that far west, it could be some time.
It's going to another continent, by the way.
But would it not make sense?
It's just going on the western side of Haven's Isle by this steam curtain.
Yes, but sources, would it not make sense that perhaps Jib and Klein are also dwarves? Because the dwarves were certainly, how do we say, servants of Baal Vondor and such.
I mean, the connection could make sense. I see your line of reasoning, though.
There's no guarantee.
You are a step farther ahead than I am on that.
We'll see. What about this plan, though? I have one last plan that might be of value to cut through all this. Crispin Hollows, was he the one that had the locate object spell?
I was just about to mention this as well.
Yeah.
Indeed. You might want to speak with your resident Tower Wizard of Mantvale. He has continually offered his arcane services to our aid.
Also,
why don't we take the sample of Crackle Powder and use that to try and find more Crackle Powder?
I was gonna be like, let's use Divination.
I'm sorry,
magic,
Nick. I don't mean to steal your thunder. Oh
no, it's all good. I'll also mention though.
Yes,
I'll say,
please do so.
Do you think that my grandfather might have some kind of magic of this sort as well? We could get both of them to work on this, perhaps.
Yeah.
Well, you would know better than I. He is the master of rituals, after all. I wouldn't be surprised.
Right.
I think the reason why we went to Crispin was because he didn't have it for some reason. But
they might just not have it. They might just not have it prepared as well.
He might not have had it prepared. That's true.
Yeah. Well, I'll say. I'll go find my grandfather. If perhaps we split. One group finds Crispin, the other one finds my grandfather, and we see what they know.
Sure. I mean, this is going to be very risky. I would only, if we do put a plan together, I think it kind of reminds me of when we tracked down the Night Stalker. We may want the guards at our back if we're going to do this particular method.
Of course, yes. I completely agree. We can't just storm in there by ourselves.
We could. It just, I don't want anything to happen to Crispin. Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, those are valuable assets on our side. And
exactly.
Trusted, valued members of the royalty. So while we should utilize them, we should also keep them out of harm's way. Am I to
Exactly,
understand it if if the wizard goes divining out the location of this substance, he will need to personally be following a dowsing rod or some such?
Exactly, which is very obvious.
Yes, it is.
But it's worth it, in my opinion, if we can find it and keep Crispin safe, because what if they've already moved some of it to other places in the city? We might need to douse it out in the future as well to stop whatever they're doing.
Yes.
And
well, they could have moved it. They could have split it up. They could have shipped it somewhere else. For all we know, all that we know is there's something to do with a meeting location in the Shackle Downs, close to the port.
Yeah, that's I think where we need to start. So, also, hang on a second, really quick, Esper. I knew Zelix. Was there anything unique that he used to wear? A medallion, a ring or something?
Yes, you do remember some details of Zelix. He wore boots that were very heavy, steel-shod things, like you might find in a suit of plate armor. And you would hear little jests and mocks with some of the other apprentices, the other, lower ranking members, that he would wear these boots as compensation for being short. Yeah. Like they were sort of these platform boots. Yeah.
He's wearing heels.
Great.
Yeah, he would wear a long, thick cloak that would hang down, and it would cover his armor and his clothing and his body. You just remember like his plodding heavy footsteps of these boots and this like long thick cloak that sweeps along.
That's
along.
distinctive. Yeah,
he also would wear a masked helm, a spiky masked helm. So you never really got a good look at his face.
You mentioned that actually last session. I think you said something about the not seeing his face.
So he doesn't. So Walykos probably doesn't know like exactly what he looks like, but he has like
definitely a medium-sized creature, not a big one. Not like one of the half giants or anything.
Yeah.
Well, I think the best thing to do right now is just get to see if they can do the locate object, and
let's see how many castings they could prepare of that, because my thought is we do Crackle Powder, and if we don't get any hits on, I keep saying I meant Crackle Powder.
It's because you're a bird man, that's why.
Yeah, it's how it goes. But no, we get them to search for the Crackle Powder. If we don't get any hits on that within the first casting, I think it's a 1 hour duration or something like that.
You concentrate up to 10 minutes.
Okay, if we don't get it within 10 minutes of searching, we could try looking for an object like those platform boots, the spiky helm, something like that I could draw or describe for Crispin. And if he can find the guy, that might be more valuable than finding the Crackle Powder if they've moved it. So,
yeah,
it's worth a shot.
Yeah, no, I think we should just go for it. I mean, it's 1,000 feet in 10 minutes. Like that's a pretty large amount of time that we can, or area that we can get with that. So. And
I've also got the Ogong backup plan. I can talk to the Ogong.
Exactly. Yeah, I think we should check with Crispin Hollow, my grandfather, see if they have the spell prepared. Use the Ogong first, just to see if maybe we get lucky with that, and then if not, then do the.
So here's the concern, the obstacles that we need to overcome. Bringing Crispin, bringing your grandfather down into the slums, safety, and also obviousness. We've been trying to be subtle, but as soon as word gets out that we're searching the slums, Zelix could hear about it and he could, wrap it.
Well, what if we get like a wagon, like a rundown wagon that looks like a normal commoner's wagon?
Hide them inside the wagon.
Yeah, because like the spell's gonna work whether they're in the wagon or not,
It's
and that
true.
would also
we would
gives
have
us
to move the wagon.
And it would also give us more. It would give us more space to cover with, right? Because
my concern is, what if someone starts poking around the wagon, some beggar, or someone messes with it. It's like
Well,
it's like an FBI van, you know.
But if the wagon looks like just a commoner's wagon, like if it's beat up and not like looking good, then no one's going to.
We're in the slums, man. Everyone's gonna be looking for anything that they can get their hands on.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think it's better than just like walking him through the city.
Oh, I don't disagree. I just think
Yeah.
that it needs a little something else. Maybe, oh man, if we could put an illusion as it's a dung wagon, you know, and the illusion covers them, no one's gonna want to mess with that.
That's actually good. Vapor, do you happen to have any illusion
magics?
that you could use?
Your grandfather might.
I don't have anything like that, nor would I have anything like that.
What you don't?
Did someone not get much sleep last night?
No, I didn't.
I'm sorry, Vapor, but for once I'm with them on this. You do not have any kind of illusion magic? Not at all? I thought you did. No? Nothing?
No, unless you count precipitation. I don't.
Unless I count what?
I can't even freaking speak the
Press
spell.
He's had a rough
Precipitation.
night.
Sounds like it, yes.
Yeah.
Well, perhaps my grandfather Crispin could do something like that. And,
Yeah, let's see what resources they can bring to the table, and the idea is sound. We don't want, you know, anyone messing with the wagon. If it appears and seems to be a dung wagon, then that'll be fine for while we can just move it quickly. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I mean, I'm pretty good at blending in crowds. So while the wagon's going, if we don't have illusion magic, I can just sort of stay in the alleys, watch it, and if anything happens, well, deal with the situation.
Yeah, and I mean, we're in the slums. A dumb wagon doesn't stand out either, so that's always good.
Well, let's check with Crispin and my grandfather.
Sure. Sources, you're staying here, right?
I will be here for a couple of hours still, and then I'm going to be making my next foray back into the Shackle Downs.
Okay. We may need some of your men to go with security for, you know, Crispin or the Master Rituals, Duncan.
Certainly.
Yeah,
well,
we'll
Sir
let
Knights,
you know if you
you Sir Knights, you can, you know, make usage of some of the soldiers.
We might, yeah.
So he, you know, probably tells you, you know, here's a couple of commanders, just report to them. They'll furnish you with some soldiers. You could get, I don't know, like
I don't think we'll
half dozen.
Yeah, I don't think we'll need like a huge army, but half dozen sounds
Yeah.
perfect.
Okay.
Cool.
I'll ask sources. Do you know where my grandfather Crispin is at the moment, so that we're not just looking around aimlessly?
Weren't they supposed to be coordinating with the Chancellor and all?
Well, probably, but they might be somewhere else now. So
Yeah.
If he is not at the Storm Tower, then I would go to Long Keep.
Okay.
thank you.
Let's go to the Storm Tower.
All right, to the Storm Tower.
All four of you go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless someone doesn't want.
All right, so you make your way just back over to the Storm Tower district, and you go to the actual Storm Tower proper. The crowds that were thronging here and protesting and rioting, they are very dispersed and thin this morning. So other than just a few straggling, strange faces, there's not a crowd here, at least not at the moment. And you go and you are met by some guards and house servants, and you are brought, and you indeed are able to get an audience with, or a meeting with, the Master of Rituals and the Tower Knight of House Mantevale in short order. Yeah, your cousin Varric is Knight of the Storm Tower.
We got into a little situation a while ago. Yeah.
Yeah, you've had some feather rufflings and some stare downs. So yeah, in pretty short order, within say an hour's time, you are speaking with Duncan Manteville, Lord of the Storm Tower, and Crispin Hollows, the House Wizard.
Now it's just them in the room, right? Like no one else is with us, right?
There are 2 guardsmen that are,
All right, I'll.
just,
Yeah, I mean, I'll
watching the door.
Yeah, I'll speak up and say, would you?
Well,
mind if
yes,
we-
yes. How can I help? Please, the situation is dire.
Yes. Would you mind if we were alone, without? And I look at the 2 guards. We don't want to get any information out.
Men, if you please, wait for us without.
And the 2 guardsmen, give a brusque nod and go on the outside of the door, shut the door.
And then I stab him. No. Grandfather, Crispin, we were wondering.
Yes, hello, welcome.
Yes, we were wondering if you 2 perhaps could help us with something. You both have magic.
Oh, yes, always.
Oh, just
And
get to it, Adriel. We want to do a repeat of what
Yes.
found
Certainly.
Yes, we want to use your locate object and possibly an illusion spell for a
the Night
wagon.
Stalker. Yeah, what we did with the Night Stalker, we want to try and do it again.
Yes, I've been ready for this. I have prepared a location, an object location divination. I would be able to produce this effect a few times. If you are needing me to locate an individual person, I can do that but once. And then I would
person.
I would need to recoup my energies on the morrow.
I look to Walykos. Walykos, would you be able to produce an image of this person? Something that he could be familiar with?
Well, perhaps I could at the very least give a good description of what I believe.
I would need
would
to.
You would need to.
You cut out there, Esper. What?
My apologies.
Okay.
Yeah, continue. Go ahead.
No, what did you say? You said.
No,
I would
what
need
did you
to-
say? Esper, you said I would need to.
Actually, that wasn't me speaking. That was my audio of the
Oh.
stream from my YouTube tab, and I
Gotcha.
had to mute it very quickly.
Yeah,
That's
I
alright.
was like Esper.
No, I just came here to reply to a comment because there was a super chat, so I wanted to say
Oh,
thank
good,
you.
good.
Yeah.
Thank you for the super.
I'm
chat.
not
False.
watching the chat tonight, but everyone out there, hello. Let's see. Okay, so locate creature. That's pretty powerful. That's a strong
It is.
divination.
What do they? what
Locate
would you-
X
what would
are
you-
all like that.
Grandfather, what would you need for locating the person itself? How similar?
The
an
name of a
image-
creature
name?
that's familiar to you.
As much detail as you can provide me, of course. If this is not an individual that I am personally familiar with, we can give it our best shot. It could lead me to him. It could lead me to someone who has something similar.
Similar.
It's going to be much the same with the object location, but I think it is worth trying. I have prepared these specifically to be ready at your request.
How often can you use the locate object, and how often can you use the creature?
I mean,
If need be, I could do 6 castings of the locate object. It would drain me quite a bit. Well, I suppose I could do 7. That would drain me completely.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
But
Yeah,
But if need be, I am at the ready.
I think that we should start with the object, because you can only do the creature once.
I don't disagree. I think the locate creature is better saved for when we have an inkling that we're in the right place. Even
and-
though the locate creature lasts for 6 times as long as the locate object.
And Crispin, are you able to do any kind of illusion magic? We were thinking of using a wagon, but of course we'd like to disguise it if possible.
So the concern
Well, as you
is
saw, I'm
there's-
able to disguise myself, an entire wagon. Alas,
Small
no,
wagon.
that is overmuch.
Mhm.
You're useless, Crispin.
no, that's fine. What sort of is there any ritual or something that your grandfather knows, Duncan? Some sort of glamour that could be put on a wagon to conceal those within it.
Unfortunately, no. That That is not a power that I call upon.
Okay, well, I mean...
Well, I think that we should still use the wagon nonetheless, though.
Oh yeah, we just need to come up with a more mundane solution. Less magic, more smart.
What if we and Adriel thinks for a minute. He goes, "Grandfather, pardon me, you're quite old. What if we made you out as a cripple and put you in something to, lug you around and wheel you around, and you could be seen as normal, as though we're just taking you around the city or taking you to your home."
Wasn't Crispin the one casting the spell?
Yes, you might do better with Crispin. I'm not much of a thespian.
Well, as you have seen, says Crispin, I completely fooled the corpse of Markanax. He thought that I was the Red Sorceress. I could play, yes, an old cripple, a beggar.
We'll get you a little bell on the side of
Yeah,
your wheelchair that you just ring.
Yeah, this would work as well, Crispin. We could use yours as well. But it seems that perhaps we should use both of you, right?
Well,
Crispin
does your
in one
grandfather
group-
even have the spell?
I thought he said that he had the spells. He had the locate objects and stuff.
Does he?
Yes, I have readied it. Yes.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's why I'm saying we should use both. Yeah. So I'll say, why don't we do both? One group takes my grandfather, one group takes Crispin, and we get more of the city covered with this.
Before we go along with that, I mean,
I'm happy to disguise them myself to
Aygir,
save their magic.
You're an artificer. Do you have any sort of ideas that might be constructible of some sort to not just wheel them in plain sight, but conceal them from people, as they do their magic?
I've been thinking on this for a little while as you've been talking.
I thought you might. That's why
Have
I
you
wanted to give you
ever
a chance.
been to a market stall and seen a man with a trick box? He opens the box and puts in a coin, preferably your coin you've just given him, closes the box and tells you to guess what the value of your coin would be when he opens the box. Then, of course, he opens the box and your coin is missing.
A fortune teller, a street urchin.
Yeah, street mage.
Well,
yeah.
Of course, what he does is there is a hinged panel. The box is not quite as... It is a little bit deeper than it looks. And there's a hinged panel, and he presses down on it when the lid goes closed. The coin on one side drops down into a little space, and then it looks like the bottom of the box, but actually there's a space full of coins.
If you don't mind, this seems a bit intricate. I don't know if we need anything that complex.
I didn't say it would be quick.
It is intriguing. How feasible is it, though? For a person who's, keep in mind, they're doing divinations as we're moving them through this slum.
If I may, I don't see why it would be strange to be using a wheelchair as if it's an
I think
old
perhaps
person who...
actually it's a little bit more simple than that in this case. You know the old saying, dead men tell no tales?
Are you going to put them in a coffin?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
That's actually not a bad idea either.
So here's what I'm thinking. We get a wagon.
Who would question a corpse rolling on a cart as part of a funeral procession?
Crispin would.
Who? Clever.
Yeah, I honestly think we just get some really shoddy looking beggar coffins. And we just wheel each of you, and you just knock once or twice, twice for move on, once or whatever. Once for move on, twice for I found it. Yeah.
You should listen to this man. I like the way he thinks.
Yeah.
No, I like this idea. It's better than mine. Let's do the coffin.
I mean, you just to be clear, you can still cast the magic while in a coffin, right?
Well, I believe so. I've never tried that.
We could. Well, you'll try it when we get there, and if it doesn't work, then we have to take you out of the coffin, and we'll, leave and figure something else out.
Yes. Could you see that it was a spacious coffin?
It's got to be a beggar's coffin.
It would
Yeah, I don't
give
think- I
me
think- I think-
more room for my gesturing, and
Unfortunately,
We can
I
definitely
don't-
make sure that
How
you have
much
enough room to
time
move
do
your
we
hands.
have?
Yeah.
We'll
make
give
sure
you
that
enough
make sure there's
room.
plentiful air coming through.
We'll give
we'll
you
leave
Enough
enough
time
holes.
to go to the
Yeah,
tank.
we'll-
I could arrange a big coffin.
I think we'll give you enough room to do your gestures, but it can't be too big. Otherwise, it'll look suspicious as for the poor person's coffin if it was too big.
Well, let's be honest. People see what they want to see.
Right.
The only people who are going to take a second look at this are going to be people who are suspicious.
Well, but if we find the location or if we're going through the town, there might be people who are suspicious and who.
Oh,
are...
I don't disagree. I think the best thing to do is just keep them out of sight in the coffins, and we just need to keep our heads down, cloaks up,
Yep,
hoods up.
I completely
and,
agree with you.
Seem like we're headed with a purpose to a destination, and occasionally stop, rest, do a little knock on the coffin to make sure that they're doing their divination, and
Yes.
see what happens.
Yeah, 2 of us with my grandfather, 2 of us with Crispin seems fairly safe.
And we can split up the area into, I don't want to say grids, but we can do streets. We can each take different streets and
We'll
walk
have we'll
the
have
streets.
we'll have
Yeah.
different routes, but we'll all of the routes each of us take will be going towards some kind of funeral or sometimes a funeral site or burial location, so that it doesn't look suspicious, but it still gets through everything.
I mean,
One problem with us splitting up.
Yeah.
How do we communicate when we find something to the other group?
Well, we'll meet back at a location and then converse.
well, Crispin or Duncan, do you have any communication magic between the two of you?
Or a sending stone would be even
Yeah.
better.
Crispin, you have your cantrip, do you not? Yes, I do have a message cantrip, though it has some limitations on range.
Yeah, I thought you needed to be able to see the person on
You
the
have to point
cantrip.
it. Do you have any kind of
You
sending-
have, yes. Well, you actually point at the person and you whisper to them, but only they hear the whisper, and they can whisper back in your own ear at a good distance.
Well-
Say 120 paces.
Do you perhaps
That's
have
not-
have a sending stone
Sending stone.
or stones? We need these two.
Well, they come
one
in
for-
pairs, obviously.
Yes.
I think I would remember if we had something of that sort in the reliquary. I could check. We typically just send messengers or birds.
No, that's perfect. Why don't we just have pebble pecks? A pebble peck could find you, so long as we've trained them to find us, Adriel. So, plus I could very easily, with my speaking with animals, send something. If
Yeah,
if
the
I'm not gonna
ranger
use it.
animal speech, that's probably going to come in best. The pebble peck
Yeah.
probably is better at going to locations, like a fixed location.
All right. So
I mean, I
so
could ask the Ogong or something to go find the other, person that smells like you.
Yeah. So if while we're moving, then if one of our corpses, and I kind of like smile a little bit when I say that, if one of our corpses finds the location, we'll send out a bird to inform the other group.
Okay, we need a story though in case we are stopped and someone asks.
Yes,
"What's
it
in
might
Yeah.
seem strange if these two coffin carriages are combing through street
Mhm.
by street.
Yeah.
Um.
So my thought is one, the area is pretty significant that it could hit. It covers multiple streets. So we don't go street by street. We go down one street, then we go over multiple streets. Then
That is a
down.
good point.
Yeah.
The location, the divination. Yes,
Covers
it
a circle.
I reach out with a great psychic swath, and I will be able to detect upon, say 3 streets simultaneously. Now, it will typically, how can I describe this? I feel something like a pole. Imagine as though someone has grabbed your shirt front and is pulling you in that direction. Yes, that is the sensation that I receive that pulls me to in the direction of the nearest object of that sort.
Could the-
Correct.
Could-
And
could-
so you'll
could the-
knock to let us know that you have that pool, and then we'll whisper to you or something which
Could the-
direction.
Could the story be nothing more than an old man or old man died, a family relative died?
Yes, it could be, but sometimes you need a little more spice to sell it. I think that these should be people who died in the riots. And I think that people will buy that. The violence, has been in the city.
I do agree with this. However,
You
I
might
think
want
that
to fashion a hole in the coffin, and I could speak to someone near the coffin and
That's-
tell them.
Oh, you got to breathe too. We're going to put holes in it.
Yes.
I do agree that someone dying in the riots would be the most plausible, but it also might cause more problems in the city if they know that people are dying in these riots. Because I don't think anyone has died yet in these riots.
Esper, have
so-
people died in the riots?
Yeah, you've heard that
Oh,
a
they
few people have died already.
Okay,
Yeah.
never mind. I won't say that then. I won't. I'll
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
Not
this
a
is
lot,
pretty-
but like a couple people
Okay.
have. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
It should
Okay,
still
I
be a
agree
decent
then.
ready-made cover, though.
Okay, I agree that
Yeah.
that someone dying in the riots would be a good idea then. Yep. I agree.
Okay. Yeah. As to why we're taking them here, they have to be buried with their family, and if they ask, based on where we are, we'll come up with a plausible place that we're going. We have to take them from here because they needed to be identified. Whatever.
Yeah, we'll look at a
We'll
map
ad-lib
and
it.
find the locations.
Speaking of, let's get a map open. Let's get some coffins. Let's drill holes in them. Let's get the guards who can go in plain clothing to
We should
support
probably-
this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we should probably inform some of the guards of this as well, so they don't get suspicious as well.
Yeah.
So you all are spending a few hours preparing yourselves, right?
Honestly, this could take most of the day in
Yeah.
theory, but I still think it's a better use of our time than
Yes.
just going around looking for storehouses.
We should also.
yeah.
Yeah, I assume that we can also probably get like one of those like single horse or single donkey wagon type things that we could put the coffin on so that we get more space, like or more distance. And
I'm willing to hand wait, like whatever Esper thinks is the reasonable amount of time. We know what we want. He knows
Yeah.
what we want.
Mm.
How do we make this happen?
Sure.
Yep.
We should probably speak, form some sort of plan as to if the worst comes to pass.
Yes.
What if there's something disastrous that happens? Should we have a meeting spot that we all relocate to? Do we fight against, say, attackers, even if they're common rabble? Yes.
Yeah.
I
No,
think-
I get
I
what you're
think
saying.
that-
If something happens really bad,
I think the best place to meet if something happens would be our stronghold.
it's kind of far.
Related to Shackledowns, they're actually very different districts.
Well, we
Um,
just
Klingstead is on like a high wall. It's kind of attached to a high walled area on the northern end of Barnacle.
Okay, we could just pick
Yeah,
an inn then.
and you're going to like the
You do
southeast
we could
end.
always go bug those dwarves again.
No, we're not going to the dwarf place. That's a recipe for disaster.
I think that
Um,
we could pick an inn though.
A fume hovel. Just pick
Yeah.
a fume hovel, and we'll go ahead and
Yep.
meet up there.
That works for me.
So here's my proposal. Go ahead and select one of these fume hovels of the Shackle Downs.
Yep.
But failing that, if that might not be safe either, and we truly do need to come back to our districts. Maybe the Gloom Tower. It is the closest to the common ward, and
Sure.
the Bracken Bluffs are our close allies.
I agree. That works as well. If all else fails, and of course if that doesn't work either, then I suppose every man for himself.
Well, we will send a bird to the Bracken Bluffs to let them know that we hope to not have to make use of their sanctuary, but if something disastrous occurs, we will fall back to the Gloom Tower.
All right, let's get to work. Get these coffins set up.
Very well. I wish I could say something more, but I I will do that what I can. I will certainly be disguising myself to appear as, well, what would I be? Some sort of a funerary personage, would I not be? A grave digger, the cemeterian.
A corpse?
The term you're looking for is Undertaker.
Yeah.
And that job's mine.
Yeah, I think you're the corpse, Crispin. You're in the coffin.
You want me to be in a coffin as well?
Yeah, that's the plan.
No,
yeah.
you're the that was the plan. You're the one who's
Because
going to
you
be in the
need.
coffin.
how you're
Remember,
staying
you
hidden.
have the divination.
Yeah,
You
no one
gotta-
else. No, yeah, you and my grandfather are the ones in the coffin. You probably don't even need to disguise.
We're not
yourself.
going to nail the coffin shut, just to be clear. We're going to
Yeah,
put
no.
the lid on, and just kind of make
We'll have
sure it
fake
doesn't
nails,
slide.
essentially, that look like it's nailed, but you could always open it anytime you need to.
I don't think anybody's looking that closely, and if they are, we've probably already been caught.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if
they-
someone's going to open up the coffin, then
So I should actually amend something, though it doesn't change anything that we're planning here. Crispin can also cast the locate object.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
all.
That-
That
that
is
was-
that's a wizard spell too.
our
Correct.
plan is to have.
So
Crispin
they
in
actually
one
can
coffin.
both be casting it.
Yeah,
That-
that's
that
our
was
plan.
part of our
That wa-
plan
That's
all
our whole
along.
plan.
Was that
that's
already?
what we,
Oh,
we
okay.
knew that.
Our whole
yeah.
plan
Oh,
is to have
okay.
two coffins.
So I guess you guys
One-
are one step ahead of me.
Yeah. Our whole plan is to have.
I'm gonna
my
just keep
grandfather
playing
in
my
one
sleepy fog brain card. That's
coffin. Yeah, my grandfather
No,
in
it's
one
perfect.
coffin.
I'm playing that over and over the
Crispin-
session.
Crispin in the other coffin, and then we're splitting up to cover more ground in the city.
Fine then, well, I will put a disguise self upon myself. That's redundant.
No,
to appear corpse-like.
Don't.
No, don't
Don't.
waste your magic.
Save it.
No, don't,
save
no,
it
don't waste your magic.
until we need it.
I didn't mean I was going to
Here-
cast it just this very hot instant.
That's fine. I've gotten
don't- you
used
don't-
to certain
Chris-
impulsive people around me. Perhaps that.
You've spent too much time with this one here.
Is he pointing at me or
Yeah.
Vapor? Me? I'm impulsive? I visibly look surprised. I'm like,
I've heard
Chris-
you nearly punched your cousin the other night.
oh, and
Is that true?
Did insist? Yeah, you was insisting to speak with Lord Mantevale here in the middle of the night.
I look at Adriel like, when did you
Yeah,
do that?
I kind of like look to Walykos, and then I look back at Crispin, and I kind of like give him like an angry look, like you shouldn't have said that.
Well, it's just the truth.
Yes, Crispin, but some things are of a personal nature.
I know that I'm old, but I wasn't always old. I remember the passions of youth, and you always think you've got the next great idea, and that everything you do is some sort of great fervent import.
Adriel, like as he's talking, just like walks out. Like he's
See?
just gonna
See?
walk-
That proves my point.
Crispin. Sometimes being right is less important than not causing a problem, and I think that you may
Have
just
you
caused a
have you
problem.
met wizards before? They're not known for
Apparently-
not known for social tact, but they are known for trying to prove that they are correct in their formulations.
Yes, you remind me of someone else, and I think he got punched in the face too. Not you. I'm saying the other man.
Yeah.
Oh, I've been punched before.
It happens. Okay, so Crispin, what we're gonna want from you is casting the spell. You're gonna be in the coffin, and if someone should, for whatever reason, try to open the coffin, be ready to be a corpse. Just disguise yourself.
That is possible. Yes, it most indeed is. You see that while I am disguised, I can maintain my focus upon the divination.
I mean, honestly, we could just put some berry juice on your face to make it pale and make you look like a corpse.
Yeah, Adriel even has a disguise kit, but he walked
Yeah,
out of the
like
room.
you don't need to use the magic, honestly.
Crispin's
I
just
think
like,
we could
I want to
disguise you.
I want to use my magic. It's like, no, Crispin, like
A little makeup, a little berry juice, a little sallow, a little tallow,
What of the rising and falling of my breathing? The illusion could mask that. The illusion could mask it.
That's you know what? I will leave it to you. if this should happen. But if someone, makes a big fuss, ideally we're gonna deal with that before they even open the coffin. If something does go horribly wrong, we're gonna meet up at that fume hovel, and we may need to get you out of the coffin so that you can run with us.
You do know heavy clothing over the top, even if it's just blankets, will just hide your breathing.
I think the coffin would hide the breathing as well. Crispin's very concerned about this.
I don't know. I'd rather be. He's a wizard. They like to have a plan for everything.
Fair. By the way, if it matters, even though Adriel walked out of the room, he would be going to like find the stuff that they need to like get going with this. Like he's like, we have a plan. Like,
let's do it. Yeah.
All right. So is that enough of a plan for us to basically summarize what the preparations are? Yep.
I think so. I think we can go into the enacting it.
Okay. So
Indeed.
2 wagons are probably the first thing that you're looking for, like the objects of interest.
Yep. 2 coffins.
Yeah, 2 coffins, 2 wagons, and
they have to have enough space in the coffin for them to be able to cast spells,
and like some old tattered like cloaks that can like cover us and stuff. So
okay, and then you're also checking with the 6 guardsmen that could accompany you and aid.
Yeah, my thought is if they can be in plain clothes, we could use them to help bear the wagons, or maybe even just be a street away. Like honestly, if they're not with us and people are watching them, then that's distraction.
And of course, like I will use my disguise kit to make my grandfather and Crispin look like a corpse, just in case, because you never know.
Yeah.
So you could put some makeup on them, and then it will be further. Crispin's will be further enhanced by his disguised self. Should he need to cast it? All right. So there's a couple things I can tell you about your preparations this day. First, you don't have immediate access to a low quality, poor type wagon. There are nice carriages that you can immediately get access to.
Can we just destroy one of them?
No, that's not how it works.
So you could, if you really want to, you could probably convince somebody that it's in the interest of Barnacle that
quality.
But you're thinking, one of the guards or whatever is thinking he's going to be able to get a wagon hopefully tomorrow. So the wagon is like potentially coming in the pipeline. We're talking about just like
a day,
like a lowborn folks wagon.
Do we have it? Do we have at least one wagon right now though?
You have access to like fine quality wagons.
Oh, we don't have. Oh, I see.
Yeah,
okay, I understand.
That's fine.
Those you have access to right away. There are 6 guardsmen who are like at the ready to aid you, and they're probably already aiding. Like one's got this lead on this wagon or these wagons, right?
Cool. Can I ask? Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you go. It's all good.
I was gonna ask: are any of them like subtle, or are they all like straight-laced city guards that shout "Stop, criminal scum"? Whenever anyone sees a crime. Because I can use either. I just need to know what type they are.
Sure. 5 of them are younger guys.
Fresh out of the academy.
In their early 20s at the most. Maybe even in their late teens. And then one of them, he's a bit older.
Veteran.
Yeah.
The
They seem like an assorted bunch, but they look like they want to help.
Perfect.
I guess I'll look at them and say, are all of you good at acting?
Okay, so you ask them about acting. 2 of the guys, they kind of like check with each other, and they look back to you. Yeah, well, from time to
How are they dressed right now?
As guards.
Oh, like okay, I didn't know if they were.
Yeah,
we're
so
at the guard posts. Yeah,
that's fair,
yeah.
that's
So
fair.
I mean, like on top of their clothes, they'd have like some leather boots and like thick leather gloves and some light chain and.
Well, what I'm thinking is
some kind of
that,
like guard tabard signifying city watch of Barnacle.
what I'm thinking is 3 of them go with one group, 3 of them go with the other, dressed up as commoners, carrying and helping with the coffin.
I almost think it would make better sense if they hung back, still common clothes, but they actually just kind of at a distance kept an eye on what's going on. That way they're ready to jump in, but not too quickly, so people aren't focused on a group, of strangers that the guards might give themselves away. Honestly.
Yeah, but what if we set them up?
We could follow a certain distance behind. We don't have to just be exactly right as part of the same wagon. We could be just heading with the same flow of traffic. Some ways back, just within eyesight of each other.
And we could keep an eye out for other people that are watching us.
We could also almost actually set them up as like a precaution, like before we even start moving the coffin, just have them set up in locations.
Oh, you mean like set them along the path that we plan on taking?
And then as we leave one guard, that guard can move to another one further along, and then
I do like that plan because people are less likely to notice people following. When someone's following, they might put 2 and 2 together.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. Well,
if a man's just sitting there like
eating
smoking
dinner, or smoking a pipe, or
smoking a pipe,
anything,
Very well. We could do sentry posts if you're thinking that's a better plan.
I mean, we'd probably keep some of you together, like pairs of 2. Yeah, if that's what we're gonna do.
It's better just in case there's some danger.
Exactly.
Let's have pairs of 2, but still not at the same table, not doing the same thing, but in 30 feet, 60 feet away from each other.
Well, it's the slums. We'll see what opportunities bring. We need a map. We need to work out the best route. Esper, is that okay that we just tell you?
You have a map and you have clothing. You have sufficient poor quality clothing.
Is it
really
the
key piece is these 2 wagons.
What about coffins?
Do we have the coffins? Yeah. We could probably make coffins.
Same thing about the coffins. Yeah.
Could we
so one of the guards has a lead, and I should be able to get a hold of it on tomorrow. I think it's going to come through.
And
that's reasonable.
And they can get 2 wagons and 2 coffins tomorrow.
Yes, that's what I've been assured of.
I think that's reasonable, giving a day to prepare this right. We don't want to half-ass it if we're going to do it.
Well, I would say let's spend today planning out our route. Tomorrow we'll get everything set up.
That being said, we could also spend the day, since we're not going to be using the locator spell. I could just have an Ogong. Yeah.
I agree.
Try to find it.
Use our day. Use the time that we have, of course.
It's a long shot, but who knows? Crazier things have happened.
And anything has time is of the essence.
Yeah. And Sorcerer and his squad, they are already out in the Shackle Downs at the moment. Yeah, they're already
let's
doing
get our route planned here.
Searching.
Yeah, let's get our route planned here, and I'll pull out the map, I suppose, and I'll say let's get this planned, and then we'll go off with the Oolong, and we'll see if we find anything. Probably not, but you never know. And then tomorrow we'll do an actual plan, which will most likely have a higher chance of success.
Yeah.
Now, Esper,
magic.
Esper, can we assume that we can just plot out the correct course that's the best and most efficient? Or do we need to roll? I feel like we should be able to do that with an entire day of time, basically, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's not any difficult or complicated task. You just basically get your map and you say, hey, we're going to go around these streets here, and then your team goes on these streets. They're, narrow, windy, kind of labyrinthine roads, but that's nothing complicated.
If I may, so once we get that set up and we're going to do the Oolong thing, I'm actually going to say well, I don't think we don't all need to be together for this Oolong thing. It seems like you can do that by yourself, Walykos, or with one other person. I could try and see if I can find anyone that perhaps knows something in sort of the underworld area, the criminal side of the city.
I mean, Adriel, are you sure that splitting up we're in enemy territory, potentially? Are you sure that this is wise?
I'm not sure, Walykos, but it's better to cover as much ground and get as much information as we can. Sometimes you have to take risks.
If you are absolutely certain that you're willing to take this risk, I feel that if we run into trouble, we're all going to want to, support each other, but
I think I'll be fine. I'll disguise myself as a commoner and just see what I see.
Well, don't get caught, don't get attacked, don't get into fights with hobos in the alley and kill them and reveal who you are.
Yeah, I was just about to say. Yeah, I'll like raise my eyebrows and kind of chuckle and say, "No, I learned that last time." And I'll kind of like put my hand on like the stab wound that I got before, which I'm sure still has a scar underneath my clothing, and say, "It hurt a lot last time I went in by myself. I don't think I want to do that again."
Running is not a sign of cowardice when you know that, there is something greater at stake than just our own, personal glory and pride.
I agree.
I'll support that plan if you think that you can gain something from the underworld. But we'll meet up again soon.
Yes, I'll meet back at our home.
All right.
And Vapor, Aygir, you two have any idea on what you're doing? Are you just gonna go with Walykos or?
Oh, and Adriel, we're gonna have a talk later tonight.
I do not look forward to it. And I'll kind of just like walk away and go do my.
No, exactly. I figured that you'd be like, ah, shit,
Yeah.
a talk.
So
That's never a good thing.
maybe I will just like die, and then because like if I get stabbed again, like you won't remember. You'll be like, oh, Adriel, I need to protect you. Like, oh,
Yeah, when somebody tells you that you need to talk instead of just talking to you, it's like something heavy's about to plop on your plate.
Yeah. And just to clarify, before I do actually head out proper, I will disguise myself as like just a commoner, get like a tattered cloak kind of as well, just so it's not like looking like myself.
Yeah, so do the four of you want to go out? It's going to be kind of like a later afternoon in the same fashion that you went out the day prior?
Well, I'm going out by myself. I'll be like kind of investigating the underworld, seeing if anybody knows.
Okay, so you are going to go out by yourself.
I am specifically, yeah. I don't know what
Okay,
the other
and the other three?
Yeah,
I'm kind of debating here because Vapor's got an opportunity to talk to these two guys, Crispin, about what's affecting him, and I'm debating if he's going to stay to talk to him or go with Walykos. I'm leaning actually more with him going with Walykos, and then talking with him in the evening. I think I'll do that. So Vapor will go with Walykos.
Okay.
Aygir as well?
He is currently AFK away.
Oh.
He says, I shall once again return.
Okay.
So I would, but I believe he would also be
I
going
imagine
with
he would
Walykos.
probably want to go with, that makes sense. So it's only
Is
Adriel that's
Vapor-
going off alone. Yeah.
Yeah, is Vapor a little nervous once Adriel gets out of sight?
As always, right?
I have to remind you
Actually,
every time.
he's not as bad because, as it was last night, he has been spending the morning around. So he
He's saved up.
imagine his hands kind of just shaking, just like a slight shake to his hand, which he's able to hide. But it's not bad as it was.
Clearly, he
last
needs
night.
a little Grove Sheen.
Adriel subconsciously.
You know,
is just-
at the rate this is going, he might start smoking.
Adriel subconsciously is just like enjoying Vapor's torture so much right now. So,
Yeah, but no, I think after they're done with the afternoon search, and they go back to the place, this Vapor is going to actually head back to the Storm Tower to get help. See
Wait,
if they
you're
can
going-
help him.
you're going back to that's our
He's-
place, right?
Yep.
Yeah, the
Storm Towers.
Yeah, Storm Tower's Mantivale.
Storm Tower or the Broken Tower?
Kirsten Mantavale.
Oh, the Storm Tower. Yeah.
Storm Tower's
okay.
Mantivale. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, not yours in Walykos' place. Specifically, Christian Mantavale, because he's going to ask him about what's affecting him, see if he could have any solutions for it.
Wait, Chris.
Crispin
Did you say
Hallows
Crispin
no.
Mantavale?
Who? Oh, give me a
Crispin
second. I got the name.
Hollows is
or Duncan
the-
Mantavale?
yeah.
Duncan Mantavale.
Okay, that makes more sense. I was confused because I was like, wait, Crispin's not a
Almost-
Manta Veil.
No, I'm. Yeah.
He's a Manta Veil in the sense that, like, he's a retainer of that great house, but by blood, he's not a Manta Veil.
Yeah.
Talking to Crispin and but just talking to them, see if they have any idea what's affecting him and to fix it.
Okay. So we're going to first do the trio, Walykos, Aygir, and Vapor. You make your way eastward, and it's already, getting pretty well into the afternoon, but you figure, this might help. Why squander these few hours that we have? Or you could even stay there during nighttime if you wanted.
Yeah, if we find maybe I'll just see Azelix in the street. Who knows?
Yeah, well, the die of fate knows. So you three head eastward while Adriel is heading in a different direction, and we'll get to him afterwards.
Yeah, no worries.
The farther east you go, the more you start to see the malcontents that gather outside. At this point, you are basically determining that in the eastern districts, the eastern side of Barnacle, there are a number of malcontents that are just camped outside, and it doesn't take much time until you come across people that are shouting and protesting, or people that are talking about these sort of topics, rumors and talk of the day. But for every one malcontent, there's like 2 or 3 people that are just living their normal life. They just want to, make their money, earn their bread, take care of their family, go home at night. So it's not like the entire eastern side of Barnacle is in an uproar, but there is a noticeable presence, clumps and groups of malcontents outside.
You see, winning silver at the end of the day is the most important thing to all people.
The 3 of you, have you donned plain clothing instead of your armor or other?
So Aygir is wearing his armor, sans helmet, because that's kind of distinctive, under plain clothing. And maybe he even has like a little metal skull cap under a hood, but he's fully dressed like not himself.
Okay, so you are still wearing your armor. It's just not your helmet, but you've donned. It sounds like you've donned like a large cloak over it.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. And Walykos?
Yeah, he would still have his armor on, but he has this mantle that can change colors and shift in certain ways, the feather mantle. So he's changed the colors to be black and blend in with everything. And he just has his staff. He has this staff that he just walks with and pretends that it's not a weapon of mass destruction. And it's just a walking stick.
Okay. And
Also
Vapor.
hood up. Yeah.
And what about you, Vapor?
He has like a scarf or some sort of wrap around his head to help kind of disguise himself that way, and is not using his usual clothing, but it's more of plain clothing to blend in.
Okay, so you all don these variants to your clothing. It's still different than most people's garb, so there's no way to, in that sense, right? There's no real way to avoid being unique to some degree. Cloaks are pretty common here. Haven Isle can have a cool, drizzly climate, especially in the evening hours. But big hooded cloaks and stuff covering up armors, that's not a typical thing for people to be wearing. You see a lot of common tunics and such sort.
That's fine.
Why don't the 3 of you make deception checks? And this is going to represent your efforts to be inconspicuous.
Can I make a stealth check instead?
What are you using? Tell me what you're doing with the stealth check.
Basically, I would keep to out of the way of people. My nature's mantle blends in so that, I can actually hide even while being observed if I'm in an area that's slightly obscured. So I would stick to kind of shadows and try to, be avoiding people's sight.
Sure. So as long as Aygir and Vapor are on board with that, you all can move at a slow pace, and Walykos is going to be hiding in general terms as you go about.
Yeah. That works for me.
Until we get to the place where we're going, and then to Ogong, and hopefully people in the slums are, don't have, things to deal with. Okay, not a great roll. We're almost through the night, though. Should I use my inspiration?
Wait, I thought that I thought I had inspiration.
No, I have inspiration. It's on my sheet.
Yeah, Walykos got it last time.
Oh, I remember. That's right. I had it last time. Forgot to use it.
You gotta.
Sorry.
Man.
I didn't take it off. That's my bad.
Yeah.
You wasted it.
Well,
could have made a whole difference to the entire session.
Maybe.
All right, what do you have? What do you have, Walykos?
A 12.
Okay, Aygir, go ahead with the deception check. Or if you have some other tactic, feel free to describe it.
Do you want me to re-roll? Because when you told us to do deception checks, I rolled it already at that.
No need to re-roll. Just go ahead and keep whatever you got.
Okay, because it's a natural 20.
So, well, why would you want to re-roll that? Oh my gosh!
This is why I'm asking. I can show you. I have not touched it, but it's going to be a total of a 23.
Awesome.
With the modifier. That's why I'm asking to make sure, because I didn't touch it. It popped up that way.
A lot of people like to play D&D online by using the digital dice rollers. So you see the dice rolled on the screen, and it's cool in a way. I've just tried it out for the first time. I do see how it is appealing, but nothing will beat rolling actual dice for me.
Yes, I agree.
I personally I only ever use digital dice rollers when they're convenient. So, like, namely for old school essentials where you have THACO and it calculates that for you.
Okay,
so it's even easier.
They're definitely really good if you're casting like a really high damaging spell, like something that has like tons of dice as well, like sneak attack as well.
See, I completely disagree. I love rolling a big handful of dice. God, it's so satisfying.
I do love it, but it's so much faster because it just adds it all up for you. You don't have to count
the math number crunching part. That is fast.
I'd rather have that handful of dice that I have to boom and then count to figure out what it is.
The visceral tactile experience of that.
I got 3D dice on my Foundry. 3D dice. I got sounds as well.
I'm trying it out because that's what the whole group does. So I wasn't going to be that guy that's like different, but whatever. Aygir, what are you doing?
Yes. So anyway, he went in. If he had an opportunity to do something other than deception, which he's bad at, he would probably do something better than deception he's bad at. But in this particular scenario, I can't really think of anything that he would have that's better. So,
yeah, if you are doing essentially what you've described, you've changed your apparel to some degree, put a big heavy cloak over your armor, and you're just trying your best to be inconspicuous as you go about. It's like looking like you know what you're doing and acting natural. I think a deception check fits the best.
Alrighty. Wow. Okay, that's a 16. I rolled an 18.
Okay.
16.
And remind me again, Walykos, you got a 14, a 12?
12.
Okay.
12, yeah.
Yep. All right. Vapor and Aygir, you are... you all have arrived in Havensport, by the way. So Havensport is this massive commons district that's... focal feature or most prominent feature is the actual port itself, and then it's a huge district and it blends into the south with the Shackle Downs, which is another big pauper slum district. Vapor and Aygir, you are I'm not going to say just faces in the crowd, but you are not drawing attention to yourselves. Every once in a while somebody will gawk at you. Some, here and there, people will notice I've never seen these two before, or they look weird, or hey, he's clearly got bulky arm under that cloak. So, it's not perfect. Well, actually, Vapor rolled quite good. So maybe Vapor, you are not drawing any attention at all, and then Aygir is doing moderately well.
I
No one's
imagine
like
I imagine-
accosting or assaulting Aygir or verbally calling him out.
I imagine all the eyes are pulled to Aygir, which is allowing Vapor just to move freely.
In a city of elves, he does kind of stick out like a sore thumb just for not being an elf.
Yeah.
Beyond that, maybe he's got his act together in terms of like hiding, but he's still, oh hey, that's not an elf. It's obvious he's not.
I imagine Vapor's dress actually how those out in the cloud step or dress, so he just looks like someone from the clouds.
Yeah.
From the theme curtain.
I'm sure if somebody actually like focuses onto Vapor, they're going to notice, okay, he's not from around here, but you're being inconspicuous enough and you're just not really drawing any attention at all. And then again, Aygir is getting some attention, some gazes, but it's kept to something of a minimum. The area that you're going through here in Havensport and you're heading southwards toward the Shackle Downs, what we can imagine are these cobblestone streets, and then they are just lined, packed in like sardines, these buildings. A lot of them are shop houses where the ground floor is some kind of business or minor trade, and then there's like second and third stories, and they just stack up, and they have this kind of like leering, lurching effect, and the higher levels actually protrude out farther than the lower levels. So it's pretty dense, and as you get into the Shackle Downs, it gets even denser. And there's a fair amount of people all going about doing their daily affairs, their work and their errands, and taking care of their families and whatnot. Again, you do come across groups of malcontents. Walykos is having a bit of an awkward time, and
just come out.
You flit what you in your mind is like, oh, I'm gonna like stay behind cover, and the first place
to be smooth.
Yeah, the first place you go to try to be smooth, and you kind of like slide up into a nook where like one building juts out farther from its adjacent one. This guy is just like half cocked, sitting there on a crate. What in the bloody hell are you doing? Are you some kind of
none of your damn business.
some kind of spy? And then
No.
you kind of like cringe or whatever inside, and like brush that guy off, and you go and try to find a better place to post up, and you do, and like as soon as you do, like a window opens, and like this lady like empties out a pot of we'll just call it refuse, and she's like, oh, I didn't see you there, did I? Oh, your boots have been dirtied. Some fancy boots you got under that cloak.
Fucking great. All right.
So it's a bit weird and awkward, and you're starting to like get attention to yourself, Walykos.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's still better than I would have done if I had tried deception. I would have done way worse at deception. So, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just try to find an Agong, and maybe I will stick out a little bit, but I gotta, keep with the plan.
Sure. Why don't you make a perception check, Walykos?
Sure. 23. No, 24. Sorry.
You're able to locate the same Agong not long after you
Really?
cross the what do we call that? The border into the Shackle Downs. So the thing is rooting around, and as soon as it notices you, it actually perks up.
Food.
Yeah, it perks up a little bit, and it snorts hungrily in your direction.
I get some jerky and I cast Speak with Animal.
Speak with animals. Okay, excellent. So you've drawn attention to yourself, Walykos, but whatever. You've passed through Havensport. You're in the Shackle Downs now, and you found the Agong, the same one. And Aygir and Vapor, you've gone relatively inconspicuously. You cast the Speak with Animals, and the Agong, looks at you. Food, again, food.
Yes. Have you smelled that smell? Have you found that smell since yesterday? Here, this is the smell.
Smell?
I give him the residue again.
Smell?
The crackle powder. Yeah.
Ugh.
This-
Ugh. I don't like.
yeah. Have you smelled that anywhere while looking around? I've got food for you.
No! No smell!
Okay. Help me find the smell, and there'll be more of this. And I give him, I give him half.
Okay, he gobbles it up.
Yep. I'm like,
More?
and
Again food. Again food.
help me find the smell, and there will be more.
Make your
The animal handling.
animal handling check.
Yeah. That's a 26.
Yes. Yes. I want. Yes.
Yeah. Go.
So this
Go,
is
let's-
that's how you interpret his
Yeah.
snorts and grunts and little guttural noises. Vapor and Aygir, you just see him just like just bestial sounds.
Can
But
I direct-
Walykos is interacting with it clearly.
Yeah. Can I direct him kind of where to go and where to search, or is he just gonna random search? I guess.
You can direct him. You've rolled quite well, and he's also you've gained some trust and familiarity with it.
He knows that I'm gonna pay him with food. It's not just I kick him, and make him do what I want.
Sure.
Kind of situation. Okay. Yeah. I'm happy to try to at least eliminate part of the map where there are storehouses. I want to go to a more warehouse storehouse area.
You go to the nearest storehouse that you picked out from the map.
Sounds good. Now the dice of fate.
This.
Oh god, he's got a lot of dice.
This is real magic right here is what this is. Okay. You get to the storehouse. It is on the northern end of Shackle Downs. So, slum district, but you're not into the deep thick of it yet, the worst part of it yet, where it's just utter shanties. But it's still very poor. People living in poor and squalid conditions here. Dense packed buildings. The whole place just, smells of, trash and dung and just it's pretty grody. You even pass by a tannery on the way here, and the tannery just reeks awful. And it's like you just hold your nose and you get past the tannery as fast as you can. And so
the Agong doesn't like it either. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he sneezes a couple times. So you get past all that and you arrive at this storehouse, which is like this. It's one of the larger buildings on this lane, 3 stories tall, this blocky stacking architecture with these old lurching beams. And you get there are a few people outside. The doors open and you hear voices from the inside. Voice like animated, even kind of agitated voices. And on the inside, this might be overkill on the ambience there. I'm going to keep it because, no, I think it's overkill. Let's go with this. Okay, this works. So I don't know if you're going in yet, but you can kind of see in through the open door. They've got it propped open. There is a man standing on a wooden platform, and you can see inside there are boxes, lots of boxes, sacks, in various states of organization. Some corners are messy. Some corners have actual rows of shelves that are storing whatever is kept here. You see some stairs going up to a higher level. There's a small crowd. There's a group inside. A crowd might be overselling it, but there's definitely a group of people, and they appear to be these poor common folk of the Shackle Downs. Their clothing is in disrepair, needs mending. Some of them look unwashed. They all look pretty uneducated and, have a street way about them. There are a couple that to you look like guardsmen. They're a little bit tougher looking, and they have, they've got like clubs and maybe some leathering to their armor.
I assume you're leading into something here because there's a lot of description going into this. Does this tie into the Agong detecting something?
The Agong does not smell anything. No.
Then
No.
Then I probably wouldn't give this a second thought. I apologize for all that beautiful description.
Okay, so Walykos, you walk on by.
Yeah.
And then Vapor and Aygir, you can as well if you want. What's inside is a man who is standing on like a wooden platform. It's just kind of like a pieced together platform, cobbled together. He is, shouting something, and the crowd seems to be in agreement with him. And they've got another man with a noose around his neck, and the rope is strung up from like a high beam on the ceiling. And they look like they're condemning him, and they're about to hang him.
Well,
Yeah, I'm gonna say Vapor would probably kind of listen in and try to figure out what's going on. I know that we're supposed to be looking, but if they're just about to kill someone, he would want to know why.
You gotta at least listen and hear what they say,
Yeah.
even if we don't intervene, which we can't really afford to.
I mean, you do what you want.
All right, so there's a lot of noise in there, and you can, catch bits of it. And he told those fucking Drakestone guardsmen about. So they seem to be accusing this man of aiding Drakestone and speaking to Drakestone guardsmen about something, but you don't know what the context is.
Well, without context, Vapor's not going to step in.
All right, do the two of you continue along the way?
Yeah, we kind of have to. Time
right.
really is of the
Yep,
essence.
time is of the essence.
As much as Vapor wants to step in, he can't.
There are no heroes here. Esper.
Time is of the essence, and you all just move along. And you get maybe it's a minute later, and you hear like roars from that storeroom, and he's like, "Oh, he's turning purple now!" So it seems like they've just hung the guy.
I mean, it's good there's less people watching us if they're watching that. So I keep looking with my Agong.
I would like the three of you to repeat your deception checks. We've progressed enough of a different situation that I think it would be worth seeing how that is going. We'll check in again on that.
Watch me fail.
23 on the stealth.
Hey, look at that. Okay, this time I have a 14 instead of 16. That could have been a lot worse.
Vapor?
21.
Okay. Vapor, you're really not drawing any attention to yourself at all. You're still just moving along.
Again, I imagine he just looks like someone from the steam curtains that's just looking.
Yeah, you just look like a foreigner just moving through. Maybe someone who lives here, or maybe someone who's just a traveler. But you don't really draw any attention. Maybe every once in a while someone tries to peddle something to you. Like a kid tries to sell you some little homemade sweets, and there's all kinds of like street peddlers everywhere you go. Aygir gets stopped by this person who just like insistently is trying to sell you these like rope shelves, like these wooden shelves on ropes that you like, these hanging shelves. And no matter how many times you say no, maybe you're not saying no. So
This isn't the same guy we already met at the tether, is it?
That's my brother. He knows everything that he knows. I taught it to him. Yeah, my father. He says,
and he just keeps hounding you about
the
these.
apples doesn't fall far from the tree, and I keep walking.
He actually follows you, and he keeps
telling you, no, they come back really well. You can just put y'all back there. It's right there.
Very sorry. No elfin speak very good.
So I just for you now. I make a deal. Just 1 silver piece. That's all I want for this. Just one's all.
Still.
Can Vapor make an intimidation check to see if he can scare this guy off with just a look?
Go for it.
What means silver?
Oh, that's not going to happen. I doubt a 7's going to do anything.
He actually goes over to Vapor now.
I'll make you the same deal. Just 1 silver piece. These shelves, you can put them in any room in your house. Hang from the ceiling. You can take it with you on the road on the travels.
And he just
Right,
kind
I
of
get
goes
it
on
with
talking about the
face.
benefits of these hanging rope shelves.
Aygir picks up his pace to try and get away a little bit.
All right.
Distance between them.
Eventually, he gives up.
Yeah, I was about to say, Vapor starts speaking in Primordial. Or what was it, Element?
Primordial.
No, primordial.
Yeah.
Yeah, Primordial to the guy to get him to go away.
Walykos, you're getting a little bit better of a feel for how to
Blend.
to sneak here. Also, the daylight is starting to fade, so you're getting these long shadows that are casting because of the sun getting low in the sky, and you are concealing
I'm
yourself
walking.
quite
Yeah.
deftly here. You make it to the second warehouse that you gleaned from the map. The Argon sniffs, and nothing. The door is shut on this one, and he... No! No!
Okay.
Food again. Food.
I'll give him a little more food. You know. I'm like,
All right,
"You gotta
he
keep
snarfs
going."
it.
Yep.
The third warehouse that you reach is the largest of the three. It's quite large. It looks like it's actually 4 stories, and some of the houses here, they just look like these massive cramped tenement buildings that are several stories high, and these like little, tiny living quarters, and there's all kinds of voices, and people are coming home from their day's work, so it's real active, real lively.
Yeah. I mean, this was all giant space that was adapted to living, so yeah.
The door on this one is shut as well. There's actually 2 front doors on this storehouse. The Ogong sniffs at the first door, goes over to the next one.
No smell.
Well, you're doing good. I give him a little scritch, a little scritch on the neck or wherever the Ogongs usually like to be scritched. I assume it's like a dog, either
voice.
neck or...
A voice calls to you. You particularly get the voice, like it gets directed right at you, Walykos.
Okay.
I'm here. Heed my call. Listen, you down there.
I look up.
You look up, and you might not have noticed this because this individual as well is making usage of the shadows,
Arachno.
the fading daylight. There is a small man who is
Jumping spider.
there is a small man clinging to the side of the building.
It's Arachno, the jumping spider.
He's wearing a suit of well-fitting light armor. You might give it, the equivalence of a well-made leather or gambeson, some kind of nice light armor. And he has a mask, like a cloth type mask on. Yeah. So you can't even really see him. He does seem to have some tools or apparati on like a big belt, and he's got something on his, like these special gloves and boots on. You see he has like a couple weapons at his side, and he's just like clinging there.
You there?
I know who you are, and I believe that we serve the same purpose. Are you not the defender of this city?
I would consider myself a defender of the city, a vanguard of the city, perhaps even.
You are the vanguard, yes you are.
Are
I
you
know.
Arachno?
I am Arachno. Yes,
I
indeed.
knew it. I thought I've seen you before. And, well, we never had the chance to speak.
We meet under very different circumstances this time.
Yeah.
I need to
Good
know.
work saving Risa from the Night Stalker. Risa Blimtooth. Booth. Yeah.
I did what I could. I lament I was not able to save others who deserve to be saved.
Well, we put an end to that monster. So
Tell me, Vanguard, what became of Mark and Oxivi? I need to know.
come closer. I'm not going to shout it up to you. We should whisper. Yep.
He comes down at a pretty fast speed, just like a human spider.
Actually, hang on. Let me come to you, and I climb up the wall with my climb speed.
You should just lean into his ear and then
Don't.
shout, "He died!"
Yeah. I have a full climb speed as well of 35 feet, so I can meet him halfway or whatever.
Your climbing skills are excellent.
I learned what I could, but I've had a lot of help and certain gifts of the White Raven, shall we say, in Sierra.
The White Raven. I shan't forget that.
Mm-hmm.
What has become of Mark and Oxivi?
He took his own life in prison. He had a poisoned tooth. I'm telling you this because I believe that we're on the same side, considering you fought against the Night Stalker.
I fight for the common folk of this city.
Well, that's good because we need to protect
I bring
them.
them.
And
I bring them what justice they cannot avail on their own means, either through incompetence or through misguided efforts.
I think we can help each other, Arachno. I think I have my companions and the guard. We're trying to stop a conspiracy that's been going on, and Oxivi was part of this conspiracy.
I've had my own
Assume you know
suspicions that
something of it.
I've had my own suspicions, so I do not know who it is that he is in league with.
Have you heard the name? Hang on, wait, it didn't save. Oh my goodness, it didn't save my notes. That's why I lost my notes. That's horrible.
Okay.
Uh,
Zelex?
Zelex, yeah. Oh man, I typed so much stuff and it didn't save. I'm so mad.
I've never heard that name before. Who is Zelex?
He is a lieutenant for the true enemy, the one who created the Night Stalker. I would like to tell you more, but now is not the time and place. Someone could come along and see us. I'd rather not be out in the open discussing this either. But you should know that Zelex is someone that I'm seeking right now. He's in the city, and we believe that he is planning to make explosives, powerful explosives that could take out many lives and destroy great portions of the city. Have you heard of Crackle Powder?
Oh yes, I'm aware of Crackle Powder.
Have you heard of what's the name of the
The other component,
Yeah.
the other substance?
yes,
Brine Star.
that. Brine Star. Have you heard of Brine Star?
I am familiar with it. It's a rare thing, not known in this realm.
Correct. They have imported both of these things in quantity to the city. They smuggled them in. Oxivi helped them smuggle it. And Zelex...
I spied Oxivi meeting with someone in private. He might have been meeting with a
Where?
Zelex, but I know
Where?
nothing. I know nothing about such alchemical substances.
Well, I do. I can tell you that, but I need to know where you saw him meeting them. We think that's where the Crackle Powder is, where it was at least, or where Zelex might be.
Yes, he would come at night to this very storehouse.
This is the storehouse.
This very one. Yes.
Ooh, okay. Have you seen him here since, or do you know anything else?
No, it's been some time since I've seen him here. I've wondered what has happened to him.
Okay.
I suspected that there was more to the situation than just the Night Stalker himself. Something has changed since the Night Stalker was killed. The
Yes.
unrest in the common districts has become fiery, violent. It's really the sense that I get is it has become desperate, rushed, as though
Yes.
someone is forcing the unrest at a certain
Correct.
pace.
I don't disagree. I think that is the plan of the enemy. Again, I want to speak with you more. Can you come to the Storm Tower later tonight? We have a plan that we are going to set in motion tomorrow, and we might be able to use your help if you're willing.
I will be there.
Okay. I give him our room, Storm Tower, where he knows where to go.
I remember where it is.
I thought you might. Okay, so here's the thing. Zelix has these two components. When they're put together, it makes an extremely volatile explosion.
I've never heard of anyone combining Brine Star with Crackle Powder, but I imagine the effect would be exceedingly volatile.
Exactly. We tested it with a tiny sample, and it was extremely volatile. They have barrels of Crackle Powder and potentially arrows tipped with the Brine Star that they're going to use this on. I can only think of several reasons why they might do this, but we need to find Zelix before he puts his plan into action.
And you're using this beast down there to try to sniff out where these alchemical substances are being stored.
That was the plan. It apparently didn't work so good because he did not detect the scent on this warehouse, but the doors are closed. So
I have been able to infiltrate inside the storehouse, but I have not located where I suspect they have a secret hideout. There could be tunnels beneath the ground. I don't know.
we should explore.
I've seen no evidence though of alchemical activity here.
Well, Oxivi took the barrels here. Like, I assume he met with the guy here. Maybe he didn't take the barrels here.
Maybe they were not transported,
Directly
at
here.
the street level here.
Do you know these names? You seem to have a better streetwise than us.
No, I don't know who it is exactly that he's been meeting with. This Zelix is
no,
that's information for me.
Oh, what about Wormbait, Klein, Jib? Those are
Wormbait, no. Klein.
aliases.
Yes, I know of a Klein. Jib,
Okay.
I do not.
This Klein, is he in the city? Is he in this district?
The last I saw Klein was about 2.5 weeks past. He was in Havensport and he was in Shackle Downs. He moved about both of them. He is an elven man, but there's something about him. Something different about him. A pallor, a yellowish pallor to his skin. I suspect he's not truly an elf.
I see. Huh. That's interesting. If we can find him, he might know how to find Zelix. We have it on Oxivi's word. So to tell you how we got this information, we had to use a spell to question the spirit of Oxivi to find out, that he poisoned himself. His family was threatened by Zelix. So he decided to take his own life rather than risk his family's life.
It seems difficult to believe. I was hoping you would tell me something other than that.
Well, I can tell you that we have the way that we caught the Night Stalker was by using similar magics, and I have total faith in the one who cast the spell. That being said, we're also going to try to use how we caught the Night Stalker to try and catch Zelix or find this Crackle Powder before they use it. We think it's somewhere in this district, but we're not sure.
Well, it may very well be. I just haven't been able to locate the hidden location. But this magic that you have access to, these allies of yours, this is an incredible tool.
Yeah.
I have a number of very masterful tools myself, but none of them can do that.
Maybe you can help us. We can discuss the plan later tonight, but we were going to try to go through this district without giving away who what we're doing tomorrow. We're going to use 2 corpse wagons with 2 coffins and hide our spellcasters in the coffins and lead them through the district on different paths so that they could try to locate the Crackle Powder or potentially Zelix himself.
It's brilliant. Well, I could be here, keeping an eye out from the rooftops.
Okay, that's helpful.
There tends to not be a lot of people up at this level. There are sometimes, but I have found ways to keep myself unseen.
That's useful.
I think you have found such ways yourself.
Yes, indeed. I think at this point we need to regroup. Now that we know that you're resource available, how do we get in touch with you? We need to reach out to you.
I'm a very private individual, but I will be at the Storm Tower this evening.
Okay. Perhaps we can give you one of our pebble pecks that you might send us a message, or utilize another way of communicating between us where we can leave a message for you in a drop spot. That way you can maintain your privacy.
That would be amenable.
Perfect. All right.
What is your name?
I am Walykos.
I'm glad to have met you, Walykos. We'll speak this evening, you and your companions and myself.
I'm glad to have met you as well, Arachno. I heard many things about you, and I would have sought you out sooner if there had been an avenue to do so, but we had an opportunity to take out the Night Stalker, and we pounced upon that.
You did well.
Mm-hmm. May I ask, you had to know about Oxivi. Is there some other connection? Are you, were you looking into him? Why? If I
was looking into him and all of the other port inspectors. They work. They work for Havensport. They work for the Sea Palace. They directly report to the Magister Leland Small and Porcelina, the Sea Queen herself.
Yes. Why were you looking into them? What?
I was able to gather information that Oxivi was aiding in smuggling. I figured that it was related to whatever's happening in the city. I knew there was something brewing. This is beyond mere social unrest.
Okay.
It seems too orchestrated. It's too much of a coincidence that this has flared up at the alignment of the Night Stalker's demise.
Yep. Well, I'll reveal much more on that when we meet tonight. It's better to get everything collected in one place so we don't have to keep... we can come up with a plan without having to hang here on the wall. I think that's pretty much it. Sources Flay can be trusted. He's in the know of what's going on. He's a guard captain. If you have anything, he's trying to help with this.
I've wondered of Sources Flay, but I've never spoken to him. Perhaps I will at a different time.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, everyone, like, we're all trying to stop whatever's going to happen, and if you can help out, good. I don't have anything else unless he has something, Esper. I feel like I'm just
We'll speak.
wasting
We'll
breath.
speak tonight.
Okay, cool. All right, I drop back down.
He like leans back with one hand, pulls out what some of that sort of looks like a hand crossbow, but there's contraptions affixed to it. Grapples a different building and just like flies off.
So he has a Batman grapple gun. Yeah.
There's something more to him though. You think it's more than just gadgets.
Everyone needs a Batman grapple gun.
Yeah, he he might be a ranger too. You're not sure.
I mean, he could be.
He could be a ranger. He could be some kind of thief rogue. He could be his own unique thing. But
hey, man, maybe we're both the exact same archetype, and we just have that kindred spirit.
Yeah, but there does seem to be more to him than just gadgets, though. You glean from what he insinuated that he doesn't have like overt spell casting.
That's fine. No, I get it. He might be a monk or something. Who knows? Let's just let's go back, and I think we have the warehouse now.
All right, so you reconvene with your party, and this seems to be the storehouse where Mark and Oxivi was meeting with Zelex, though either the alchemical substances are not here, or they're in some kind of under tunnels where the Gogong just can't smell it because it's too blocked.
Which is okay, because now that we have a starting point, we could bring... I mean, the whole plan with the wagons was to walk along and try and find this place.
Mm-hmm.
We could just, in theory, wagon over the bodies to the storehouse and get them out and actually have them on foot helping us look in the storehouse with their, divination.
Excellent. Yeah, so that seems to be something of a lead. There was some substance to it. So the three of you, what are you reckoning now? Or you think you're going to get back to the storm tower, or do you want to stay here still at nighttime? It'll be nightfall, here in an hour.
I think we want to go back to the storm tower now. Now that, assuming Walykos has relayed this information about Arachno to us.
I do. Yeah,
so,
I think we should, and with that, maybe see what Adriel has been doing this whole time.
Stuff and things.
Adriel.
Stabbing Night Stalkers.
Yeah, tell us, Adriel. What have you been doing?
A little bit of this, a little bit of that. No, so I was thinking of I know that I've kind of been in this area that I'm thinking of before, because like another time when I was like kind of going into like the back alleys and the criminal side, I got into the fight and then with the Night Stalker. So I don't know if that was a location where we've been investigating in general. If it's not, then I'll go
that specific night you went to Havensport, probably the seedier side of Havensport.
Okay, so I'll in this case, I want to find like kind of the back alleys, like where some of like the criminals, like people who are doing things that they shouldn't be doing. I want to go into that location. Like I will be like disguising myself, having like some tattered like cloak over me so I don't just stand out, because obviously I have like nice clothing and stuff, right? But I kind of want to go into that side because I'm trying to look for some kind of like person who could like smuggle stuff, someone that could hide something in like plain sight, someone who's good at that kind of stuff. Because I think that might help me find the people, right? So that might help me find like Zelex or Wormbait or Jib or Klein. So that's kind of what I'm looking for, So Walykos, for example, they got to meet with a good guy. I'm trying to meet with the bad guys, essentially.
Okay, I gotcha. So you make your way to Havensport, and you are dressed. Oh. Whoops. I've accidentally gotten over to the wrong... let's see if I have a better ambience for this. Let's see how this sounds. Okay, that works well enough. You make way to Havensport, Adriel. And you are seeking out a criminal contact, is what it sounds like.
Yeah, like someone who might know someone in the city that might be really good at essentially like what someone would have to be good at to do what they did with this in the city, like smuggling, hiding things, putting like locations, like storehouse, stuff like that. Like basically I'm using what I know publicly with my group, but like I'm not gonna like outwardly say everything I know, right? But like I'm not gonna be like, hey, I'm looking for this powder stuff, you know? I think there might be. I'm gonna be like, hey, I'm looking for someone who could do something like that, right? Like who could smuggle, who could hide something, right?
Okay. There's a place that you know of, Adriel. It's in the southern seedy end of Havensport. It's not a named business in the sense that it, has like a storefront name and is like publicly patronized by people. Mm-hmm. There is a painting, an old painting on the wall. So imagine an alleyway between these like large storehouse buildings, shop house buildings rather, in Havensport. You can even hear like the activity of the port and the port bells and stuff in the near distance. And there's this painting on the wall of a throne with a skeleton sitting in the throne with a crown on, like a skeleton king, and there's a sword like jammed through the heart or through the ribs. And it's an old, faded painting. It's not like a fresh, masterfully done thing. It's almost like it's above the level of vandalism, but it's below the level of, someone commissioned this grand mural. It's faded out, it's spattered, but this is the place. It's a gambling den / black market. There are fences that work here that can buy and sell illicit goods, and you can purchase illegal things here and gather rumors of the underbelly of the city. You go to the door. It's just this kind of small, nondescript back alley door. Smells a bit trashy back there. And you knock at the door, and the door cracks, and there's a kind of scruffy middle-aged elven man.
No more beggars.
Ah, but there's more than just what those words actually mean, and you know that you are to reply, I am not here to beg, I'm here to buy.
Alright. I'm here to buy. I might need that later, so I'm gonna write that down. So I'll respond and say, I am not here to beg, I'm here to buy.
Oh, well, buying is good. Come on down.
And you go down into a dingy lower den that is quite hazy with smoke. There's some people drinking as well. In total, there is about a dozen people here of, say 3 different groups. And some of them are, dicing while they smoke. Others are, speaking discreetly with each other. Who knows? Maybe they're just chatting. Maybe they're working on some shady deal. And the others are a group of 3 bugbears that are drinking dwarven strong wine and speaking in their guttural goblin tongue. And you walk in, some people glance at you, then they go back to their conversations.
All right. See, so it's like a kind of like a bar. It seems like people drinking, stuff like that. I'll go up to like the bartender, I suppose. I'll put like some copper down, and I'll say, can I get a drink, please?
There's no bartender, but there are three groups. There are three groups. So one is like these three bugbears,
Okay.
and then there's these elven men that are at a table having a conversation, like a quiet conversation, maybe just chatting, maybe doing some kind of shady deal. And then the largest group is people dicing.
Gotcha,
They're like
playing
smoking out of
dice,
pipes and like playing, like they're gambling, right?
Gotcha.
There's the doorman, and then there's clearly the one who's like what do you call it? Like, it's not the dealer at a dice game. The one who's like the what do you call it at a craps table?
The
It's not a
fancy
deal.
term is a croupier, I think.
They probably wouldn't call it that here, so we'll just call him the dice keeper.
Okay. Yeah, I'll actually go over to the gambling people. Then that's a bit of a bigger group, easier to like kind of get into. So
Yep.
yeah, I'll kind of walk over and I'll say, room for another.
There's always room for one more if you've got the money.
How much does it seem like they're betting? Are they betting like coppers, silvers?
Both. Yeah, both copper
Both?
and silver. There are a couple people that have some gold coins out, but they're usually like breaking the gold coin into silvers
Yeah.
to get to gamble with.
I'll pull out a single gold piece and I say, I've got the money. And then I'll flip the gold coin over to whoever I can get the chips from.
No chips, just actual coin.
Oh, actually just using coin. Okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'll
Yeah,
show
it's-
the gold
it's-
coin then and
They're just
yeah.
doing it raw.
Yeah, I'll show the gold coin, then I'll say, I've got the gold, I've got the money. Let me play. And then I'll obviously break it up into like copper or silver, so I'm not just like betting a single gold.
Whoa. Deep pockets on this one. Better dust off a seat for him, boys.
They are all elves except for one dwarf. They're all smoking. They look like rough sorts. And you get in on the dicing game, and you get to gambling and making small talk.
Yeah, as like I'll probably smoke a little bit with them as well. Like pull out my own pipe, maybe get a little bit going. As the night goes on a little bit, like I won't say this right away, obviously I'll play a little bit just to, have some casual talk, get with them,
Sure.
recognize that like, hey, we're having a good time. And then I'll look to maybe to one of them, I'll say, and take a big puff out of my my pipe, say, I've been looking for some kind of smuggler, someone that could get something to places or hide things that I need. You know anyone like that?
Make a persuasion check. Let's see how well you've gotten along with them.
I am proficient in this. Come on. Oh, it's not terrible. It's a 10. It's not horrible, but not amazing.
The dice keeper says,
Nope. Nobody here would know anything about smuggling. We're good, upstanding citizens, law-abiding and all that.
and like the people that are dicing, they kind of like grin and like, oh yeah, me too.
Yeah, I raise an eyebrow and I say, oh, I see. Tight-lipped, are we? Well, as you saw earlier, I'm willing to pay. And then I'll pull out 2 gold pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone interested in giving me the information I'm looking for?
So you see some eyes light up there. The dwarven man, very, very, very fat, very scruffy. Looks like he doesn't really tend his beard or his hair. His hair is like really long, hanging down. Looks like he's never even combed it a day in his life. And he says,
Whoa. Whoa. You said, handling item, not BC for, God of Barnacle. Ah?
I'll look at him, and I'll kind of like put the gold back in like my palm. I'll say, yes, I believe that's what I said, but perhaps it's much more eloquently. Do you know anyone that could do something like that?
Ah.
he speaks to you. It's like a not the best grammar, right?
Yeah, I can tell.
He says,
We go to finish game. Oh, then you say me.
You say me? Is that what he said? You say me?
We are fit. We go to finish game. Then more we say.
Yeah. So finish your game. I have all day or all night.
hey! He like grabs the hand of the elf sitting next to him.
No, he turn dice. Turn dice.
The dice keeper looks at the elf.
I'll look too.
Now, you wouldn't be trying to do any cheating now when we was distracted by old Bloaty here. No, I wasn't turning the dice. I'd already lost the round. I was just taking it back into my hand. Ah, sure, okay. Well, I've got my eye on you now.
I'll keep an eye out as well. Like, so I'll wait for the game to end, but I'm gonna watch that elf like very carefully because if he is cheating, I might try and do something.
Make a perception check.
All right. Come on. Wow, not rolling super high today. 12. Not super good.
Okay. You don't notice anything, and actually he beats you, and he wins a good amount of the whatever wagering money you put out there. So I know for you it's not really a lot of money, but
Yeah,
you know,
it's just a few coppers,
for him he's like, you know, raking in like a pile of copper and silver pieces.
I raise
Is this your first time playing?
No, it's not.
Ah,
Play me again.
could have fooled me.
Mind if we use some different dice this time?
Oh, by all means.
I'll get some different dice out. I don't know if it's from me or from someone else maybe. Then I'll play again. And now I'm still keeping an eye on him.
Cool. So, make a wisdom check. If you have proficiency with like a dice gambling set, you can put the proficiency in there too.
Let's see. I do have proficiencies in gaming sets, like a gaming set. I don't know if I wrote down specifically which one.
Okay, well, it's up to you. It could be dice, could be cards, could be some kind of chess type strategy game.
Yeah, I don't think it would have been dice or cards. I think I probably would have went with chess. Like,
yeah.
if I had.
Cool.
To.
There's probably like a chess equivalent in the setting. I imagine there must be, and that does seem fitting for more of a noble-born person. Okay, so
Exactly, yeah.
just make a crude wisdom check.
Oh, a wisdom, ability check or saving throw?
Wisdom check. You're playing the dice game. Yeah.
All right. Maybe I'll get a better roll this time. Wow, I have rolled nothing higher than a 7 so far. That's a 7, just straight 7.
More for me. And he, rakes in another pile from you.
Yeah.
That represents, a number of games played there.
Of course, yeah. Yeah, I'll put my hands up and say, you're better at this than I am, I have to say. Enjoy your winnings.
Oh, I'll be enjoying it for days to come. Woo!
I'm sure you will,
All right, gentlemen, I think that's all I've got in me for tonight. My purse couldn't take a single coin more. It's about to burst. I might go and fancy myself a lady. Does that mean you're going to put on a dress and makeup? No, that's not what I meant. I mean, I fancy some time spent with a lady. Why? So she can teach you how to put on makeup? Get buggered. Seems that buggering is a recurring theme for you. Pff, piss off. And he, the one who's won all these games, he saunters out of there, swaggers on out.
I'll call out as he leaves, and I'll say, I'm sure you'd make a fine lady. And then I'll look. Oh, I thought you were gonna say something. And then I'll look back to the dwarf that was playing. I'll say, do you think we can talk now?
The dwarf is the dwarf is tapping out his pipe.
No good.
He stands up and seems to kind of like dismiss the dice table.
I go for watering and
we say this. And so he goes to, I can't even call it a privy, the pissing nook, right?
Hole in the ground.
Basically, yeah, just kind of like walk on the other side of the wall, and there's just like a little nook hole in the ground.
When he goes away, I'll look at. Are there still people at the table?
He waddles back and forth, just this really obese, scruffy, long, ratty-haired dwarf. And there's still guys dicing, and there's the dice keeper.
Yeah, I'll look at the dice keeper because he's probably someone who's come here regularly, maybe like even a staff. I'll say, what's that dwarf's name? Do you know anything about him? Seems a little off.
Well, that one there is Craw. Off. He's a bit off.
Does he actually know anyone that I'm looking for?
Oh, I wouldn't know anything about any of that, but maybe he does.
He does. Does he have friends in him? Does he have other people? He doesn't seem the kind of person that'd be good at smuggling.
Friends, yes, certainly. Yeah, we're all good friends with Craw. He's regular.
He's a regular, I see. All right.
Of course, yes, of course.
Okay, all right. You know what? Is there a place I can get a drink around here or in this area? Like does anyone sell drinks here? Sorry, that's not in character. Sorry. Is there any place I could get a drink here?
Yeah, Craw brought strong wine. He'll sell you some.
And you look over, and he's like pointing to the bugbear. He's like, they drink from him damn near every day.
Oh, nice. Well, might have to buy myself something off of him if it's strong enough. I'll look over to Craw. Is he almost finished doing his business?
Craw comes back, yeah.
Yeah. I'll pat him on the back. Be like, I hear you sell some wine as well. You make anything good?
Wine! Good wine here. Strong.
Nah, I hear your
Fire water.
Yeah, your bugbears over there. They seem to enjoy it themselves as well.
Oh, yes. Is good. Good fire water.
Good, yes. So the
You want buy?
perhaps how much? How much for a bottle?
Yeah. Whoa. I have these here.
He like pulls aside his. He has like this long vest sort of thing, and there's just a heavy wineskin there.
Yes. 1 silver for cup.
1 silver for cup. For 1 cup, 1 silver.
1 cup. You not can drink. 1 cup you drink many day.
Mini day, I see. You know what? How about
He
this?
seems to not believe that you could actually drink a cup of his wine. You'd have to like cut it with some other liquid and space it out. But
Yeah, I'll give
What
him a
does he
silver
know?
And I'll give him a silver and I'll take the cup. And I'll let him pour a cup. And I might regret this, but I'm trying to like be a friend to this guy.
All right,
He might have what I need.
fills you up a nice stoneware cup, brimming full of something that, when it wafts up, it makes your eyes water.
I'll first take a little sip at first, just to test the water, see what it's like.
Yeah, he didn't lie when he called that fire water. This is some grade A fine underbelly thieves canton gambling den moonshine.
Yeah. I'll look to him and I'll kind of like look at the wine and everything. I'll say, how about this? If I can drink this whole thing, you tell me about your friends that I can get what I need, smugglers.
Don't drink
Don't?
all. Don't drink all, not you. They can do.
He points to the bugbears, who are much larger than you and have probably been drinking this stuff since they were young.
You know that you be so bad. Be so bad. Yeah.
I'll
But
take it.
we talk of you say me want deal make yes for transportation.
Yes. Perhaps can we talk a bit more private, so that prying. Yes, it's a private business that I'm trying to do.
This table here not good.
He points over
Yes,
to an empty table. It's not a large place, but there is a couple empty tables.
Yeah, I'll look over. I'll say, yeah, I think that should work. We talk quiet talk.
Okay. Quiet.
So
I'll
he
walk
like
over and I'll take a
like pulls over this chair and just kind of like nearly like engulfs the chair, puts his arms up on the table like you'd seen at that like drinking that watering spirit well at the spirit well. I guess it's like how dwarves like to sit at their tables here. And
yeah, I'll take a little
Okay.
sip of the wine.
all right, you take a little sip,
A little sip.
not a swig, not a swig,
Not a swig.
not a swig.
I'm
Okay,
taking his
just
word for it.
a little
I'm taking
sip.
his word
Okay.
for it.
It yeah, definitely causes quite a sensation upon your tongue and your palate, and it's like drops of lava trickling down your gullet.
Yeah, I'll say strong stuff. What was the name again? Craw?
Kra. You. And you.
Ooh, I should not give him my real name. Oh goodness, what was that name that you gave me that last time, Walykos? That alias? Do you remember? I don't remember what it was, but it was a good one.
I do.
Layerda.
It was Kato.
Oh, yeah,
Kato.
Kato.
Yeah, I'm gonna write that down. That was a good alias. Yeah, I'll go.
Simple.
I'll
It's
say,
yeah.
I'll say Kato.
Oh, Kato. Okay. You go want buy sell what is
Well, I've got some grove sheen that I'm trying to move through the city. Trying not to have it taxed. Want to sell it.
you don't want attack when you take Grove Sheen.
No, tax. I don't want the barnacle.
Impost, yes. Oh, let's see. Grove Sheen is Haven Isle Grove Sheen is Barnacle Grove Sheen is the people,
Wood.
the forest, the mush Firbolg Grove Sheen, what kind?
Yes, Fibble. Yes, no, I have some contacts. I know people, Firbolgs outside the city. I know how to get good grove sheen, and I need a way to get it into city without gods knowing.
How much Grove Sheen?
That's a good question. How much would this is out of game, out of character? How much grove sheen would be like considered like a substantial amount for like a dealer or like?
Mm-hmm.
Don't
Well.
worry. No, Aygir.
A
You do not know bugbears. Adriel does not know bugbear or pure
I do hate to interrupt though. It is,
It is
10.
Yeah, it is 10. Yeah, that's true.
oh, it
So
is.
If we want to pause and you can think about that till our
Yeah,
next
we can.
session.
I'd be happy.
Yeah,
to pick
I was
up,
about
yeah.
to-
I was just gonna say, like a large satchel, like a pack's
Yeah.
worth.
It seems
It's-
like there's a little more to
Okay.
the scene still, so I don't. wanna
Okay,
interrupt
or we
at
need
the
to
same
wrap
time.
up. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
We can
All
pick
right.
up. Yeah,
on
we
a
can pick up.
weeknight, unfortunately.
Well, good session. I guess it went by really fast. I didn't even realize it was this time now.
No, it was
I-
fun. Like
I
roleplay
enjoyed it.
sessions always go by fast. Yeah.
Okay,
I
well,
took
thanks
up a
for
lot of it.
no. The plot is thickening and brewing and twisting and turning.
It is.
I feel like we have a lot of leads to act on, so that's a good thing, rather than having no idea where we're going. So that's always good.
Right. Next session we'll actually, act on the one that gets us to the place and find out what happens there.
Ideally, yes, but you never know. So
Well, we'll see what happens. I will plead the DM's fifth, as always, and look forward to seeing what you guys do.
yeah,
Everybody who
Esper,
watched, thank you for watching.
Esper will throw us a wrench by we get attacked as we go to sleep that night. And there's just the whole session is just this crazy combat of the riot, raiding the storm tower, and we're fighting, hundreds of commoners.
You are fighting a gargantuan swarm of commoners, a gargantuan
Or,
horde.
We're like, oh, it's fine. There's just like 80 commoners. They all throw rocks, and do like 20.
What is your AC?
Damage.
16. Well, according to the mob rules, you just got hit
79
20 times.
damage.
So
Yeah,
there's
I
a
just hope-
20 d6s.
I just hope I get
Oh,
a
you're
chance
dead.
to use Aygir for this Groshine stuff that I'm doing.
You gotta get your hookup. Yeah.
He's my contact, It's
Well,
true.
I would love to shoot the breeze
Yeah.
more, but let's
All right.
go ahead and
Yeah, we will end stream there. Once again, thank you all for playing, and thanks everyone for watching.
Yeah,
Indeed.
thank you.
We'll see you like in a
Regular time and-
2
Yeah.
weeks.
Sunday,
2 weeks
right?
from this coming Sunday.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
All right. See everyone later.